We are mucus free. 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 We are mucus free.
Greetings, brothers and sisters, and welcome to, I think this is the first episode of the year, Mucus-free Life Podcast. I'm yours truly, Professor Spira. I've practiced something called the Mucusless Diet healing system by Professor Arnold Ehret for over 22 years, and I've overcame a number of my ailments. They told me that I was going to be on a CPAP unit for the rest of my life. They told me I was going to be on pharmaceutical medications for allergies for the rest of my life. They told me I'd probably just have to cope with and deal with chronic bronchitis, yearly bouts of bronchitis every year for the rest of my life. They told me that I'd probably just have arthritis in my right hand because at the age of 18, I could barely open my hand up because it was so inflamed and so much in pain. I was lied to by people that don't know anything about health and true healing, what we're supposed to be eating, how to naturally transform and heal your body. They don't have a clue, but luckily I learned about Mucusless Diet healing system by Professor Arnold Ehret and got around some folks that did have a clue, that do have a clue. And so, long story short, 6 months after reading that book, Mucusless Diet Healing System, I lost over 100 pounds and totally transformed my life. Threw away the CPAP unit, threw away all of the stank, nasty pharmaceutical medications, and really had a true rebirth, a true renaissance. And that's what it's all about to me, is the transformation of body, mind, and spirit, the consciousness, your physical well-being, getting to a place of fearlessness where you know that you are not going to be harmed by some little pathogen, some little germ is going to pop up and just take you out. You don't have to worry about that. Well, unless you want to. I mean, I enjoy the freedom of not worrying about that. I like the fearlessness of physiological liberation, where you don't have to worry about, oh, is this gonna happen? And if you do go through an elimination or they call it sick, we just say we're going through an elimination because it's finite. There's an end to it. You're not gonna have to continue to always go through these things once you get rid of this stuff once and for all. So thank you so much for tuning in. We have a very exciting and special show. First of all, anybody that's watching in the chat, say what's up in the chat. Let me know that you can hear me okay, that the visuals are cool. Just I want to see if it's going to come in to our little chat thing here. And if you would, just post a little something in there. Say hi, say what's up. Let us know that you're here and that you're on point. And let's see here. Yeah. So we have a very special guest that I'm going to bring on in a moment. We got Vadim Voss in the house. Again, we're going to talk about physiological liberation and financial freedom. They go together. They go together. We have to be financially literate. We have to learn how to get out of the W-2 trap. For those of you that might be in that situation, reconstruct, restructure your affairs. And there's so many things I've been doing really the past couple months that it was a few things I'll touch on, but stuff that we'll talk about in the Mucus-free Life membership program, which I should have that link handy. If one of the R&D team happens to be in the chat, throw that link in the chat. I didn't queue up the link, but I'll post it up in a minute, or a little bit. But yeah, Mucus-free Life membership program. We have the price back at the founding founding members price for a limited time. This is the chance. If you have questions for me about your diet, your physiology, all of that kind of stuff, then this is the program that you want to be a part of, because we have Q&A sessions with me twice a month. There's accountability calls. There's all kinds of special little things that you don't even realize or know about until you get in there. And so Mucus-free Life membership program, I got the link. Let me put it in the chat. But yeah, this is definitely, if you're not already in there, this is where you want to be. We're about to just, over the next few months, we're going to do some incredible things in this program, in this group. And this is where I like to put my time. It's like, I want to put my time with the people that are serious about physiological liberation, serious about getting themselves together. That's where we want to put our time. I mean, we've done stuff for years and years. It's been out here. And that's, one reason I haven't done as much new videos and things. We got some stuff playing in the works. There's going to be a lot of new content coming out and stuff. But I've been shifting a lot of my efforts in the direction of the folks in the membership program, so that we just really, it's an important thing. It's a special thing to have a community support for practicing the diet. And that's what I've heard. I did a survey. People in the community said, well, this is really the thing that's one of the hardest elements about practicing the diet, is not having people around me that understand what I'm doing. Just being around people that, where it's normal, where if we go through elimination, we're not talking about, oh, I need to go get some Sudafed and Tylenol. It's like, no, I need to take a lemon juice enema and lay down for a couple hours and let the mucus drain. It's a total game changer. So even if you're in your life with family members and folks that are around that are still on that mainstream Dr. Fauci type of consciousness, you still have a support system. You can plug in and not feel like you're crazy, because you're not crazy. The folks that are eating, when I got that meme on Instagram, it said, was like, well, what, you think the Mucusless Diet is crazy? You're eating dead pieces of arm and dead carcass. It's like, there's nothing. What are you talking about that we're crazy? It's like, no, that's not it. We're not crazy here. So one thing I wanted to share with all of you, so something kind of personal, something that was it's been challenging for me, is several weeks ago, my van, which I've had since 2019 and I love dearly, my van passed away. My van died. And let me share a picture so y'all see what, if any of you have ever watched Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that scene where Pee-wee just had his bike stolen and he's like walking around just looking super sad, and everybody's on their bike enjoying their life, and he's just like, his bike was stolen, and he's like, that's how I've been feeling with this situation, where, yeah. So here's can I do full screen on this? So this is let's get this bigger. So this is actually the day that I got the van. Well, yeah, this is actually, the first day I got the van. I'm in the parking lot of the title office, and I don't got a whole ton of pictures, but got a couple. This is down in Miami. This is at Arid Day celebration, one of the years, probably, I don't know which year. This is another Miami, and this is another Miami. So this was my van. It was a 2003 Ford E150, and I put a cot in the back And so I basically had like they call it a no build for the van life people. It was like no build. So it was really nice inside when I bought it. Just the conversion, just the way that they had it hooked up. It was definitely a lot of aftermarket work had been done. So it was just real kind of comfortable and, old school, but that's how I like it. And so I had a big cot in there and just basically all the stuff that you would need to camp and just be on the road. And so I used to do trips with it where I would be out and just live out of the van for like 2 or 3 months. And at that time I'd be in the van and go camping, and I might hit an Airbnb for a little while and jump around. But I was planning on doing that, and I should have actually been gone already. I'd have been in Florida right now, but the out of nowhere, the head gasket popped, and I don't know a whole lot about vehicles, and and so I didn't know that was a fatal thing, that it would basically cost 2 times the price of what I paid for the van to actually get that fixed. And so I'm like, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves a new van, and I'm going to build this thing out how I want it to be built out. So I'm putting together pretty much my dream camper van for right now. And I'm just going to hook it up. And so it's going to take me a few weeks. Once I get that thing, all that done, I'm going to hit the road. And you can expect a whole lot of content coming from me from the road, because that was really the plan. It's like I wanted to just get out there and get out in the sun, get into some fasting, get just go do what I need to do in remote corners of the globe with my camping and that kind of stuff, and really recharge and refresh. Has been so much. There's a lot of administrative operational work and things that we've been doing. So stuff that's not super exciting to most people or fun to talk about, but it's stuff that's been a total game changer and a whole restructuring of how we operate with Mucus-free Life, transitioning from, you'll no longer see Mucus-free Life LLC. This is going to be Mucus-free Life now. So there's some changes that are happening, and behind the scenes, there's even more stuff happening. Again, I'll talk about that another time, probably to the membership people in the membership group. But yeah, so I just wanted to share this with you. I've done a lot of work on not being attached to material things, and so most things I don't have attachments to a whole lot of stuff. It's like, okay, my trombone, but even if something happened to my trombone, I'd be excited about just like, all right, that's an excuse, let me just go get a new trombone. Like, I don't want nothing to happen to it. But it's like, man, this was hard. This was kind of hard for a few days, where I'm like, there's a lot of memories in that van. I mean, it doesn't seem, it's like 5-6 years, doesn't seem like that long, but when I think about, I mean, it literally went through several eras, because it took through just the whole COVID era, and I mean, it went through some serious eras in my life. So this is my eulogy. This will serve as my eulogy for the van. But onward and upward to like I said, I'm going to go on ahead and splurge a little bit and get a real serious camper van set up that's ready to go. And then I'm going to just be all over the country, all over the really North America. I'm going to be rolling, and I'm going to explore this land and meet people, get out there, meet a lot of you, and do the meetups and all that stuff. So that's in store. That is on the way. Let's see here. There we go. So I thank you for your support. You're indulging me here with that. And let's see what's going on. Aqua, what's up? What will the CHA be about? What will the CHA be about? I'm not sure what you were referring to there. Okay, everybody can hear me fine. Teely says I'm not not crazy either. I hope you get more viewers soon. Yeah, we're working on it. We got the team in the back just trying to. It's like something about this information is challenging for people. It's different. It's not as extreme as some people want, because we'll sometimes attract extremists, but then when they realize how rational what we do is, then they're not as excited about it. They're not as interested as if it was just like as extreme as they thought it was going to be. But then you get the people on the other side where it's still too extreme for them. A lot of garden variety vegan type of folks, or the standard American diet people, they pay attention to us once they're sick. So once they're blowing their nose and coughing up phlegm and got mucus coming out of their eyes and ears and they can barely get out of bed, then they're like, oh, let's check out that Spira guy. Let's see what he's talking about. But yeah, as I say, the Mucusless Diet healing system is the middle path, is the plant-based middle path, or the naturopathic middle path in the world of natural healing, naturopathy. The Mucusless Diet healing system is the most rational, the most effective for longevity, for long term. But you got to deal with the system. You have to practice the principles of the system, or it's not going to work as advertised. And let's see, we got Kofri says, I am extremely happy cleansing myself with cucumber lemon pure juice, no water. All right, getting that cleansing in there. That's what it's all about. So today I have a very special guest, and we are going to do a free training session, and the links for that are down below. I'll go ahead and get that get that going. But I want you to welcome a good friend of mine, crypto expert, has been entrepreneur, business owner, and really transformed his life as a Mucusless Diet healing system practitioner, and now works with me on the Mucus-free Life research and development team, has really just been a pillar of the community. Everybody give it up for Vadim Voss. What's going on, Vadim?
Thank you for the intro, Professor. I'm happy to be here. Happy to transmit the truth from the Matrix, aka New York City, to the MDHS family. So, hopefully moving to Florida ASAP. But
Yeah.
for now, way too busy with business and the mucus-free research development team and all of these things. Yeah, great to be here.
Yeah, most definitely. So we have. So how long is it you've been in the crypto space? What's the years?
Man, like over 12 years. I think I started at like 2013, like really during the whole ICO craze. I mean, I've been around since then. And even before that, it was like BitConnect and all this, scam things. The early days, then
Mm-hmm.
Ethereum. So yeah, it's been a while since I started in this journey,
Mm-hmm.
both with MDHS and crypto, basically. MDHS a little later than crypto, but still quite a bit. Yeah, it's over 12 years now. Ever since the Bitcoin days.
Yeah.
Basically.
Give people just the quick version of your background, your physiological transformation, and how you found the Mucusless Diet, and kind of where you were at and where you are now.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about it previously in our other podcast, but I'll give like a short summary. So I've been, to be an entrepreneur for over 23 years and, going hardcore in business. And as everybody knows, business is extremely stressful, and obviously I had no time. I was just chasing the money, trying to make as much money as possible and totally forgetting about, the whole nutrition piece, the health piece, meditation, mindfulness, like all of that. I was just like, forget all that. I'm just gonna chase the money and I'm gonna use the money to basically restore my health once I get there. Well, that was a critical mistake on my part, because while I was chasing the money, I lost all of my health. I mean, I just got like completely destroyed. My teeth started like falling out. I had like blood coming out of my ears. Multiple surgeries, back, knee. I mean, I was just falling apart at like 32 years old. I mean, it was terrible. And then obviously I went back in the other direction. I started like desperately looking for how to fix myself. Like a quick fix. I did like a 30-day water fast, 9-day like absolute dry fast in Siberia. A bunch of psychedelics. This, and I mean, some of those things work to kind of stop the bleeding, so to speak. But long term, I would always kind of come back. But then one day I found the MDHS, like the Mucusless Diet Healing System book, and as soon as I read it, I was like, oh my god, this is it. Because I tried all of it. I tried the vegan piece, I tried the raw foodist, I tried keto, I tried all of it. Primal or whatever the fancy marketing stuff is. Yeah. But then once I found it, I'm like, it just resonated with me. I'm like, okay. And I saw it, I was like, oh my God, this book was written 120 years ago. A whole story of Arid just falling down, hurting his head. I mean, that was kind of very obvious to me that he just got taken out. So that gave even more credibility to his system. And then I started practicing the diet, and I got better pretty quickly. Like it was like fairly fast. Within a year, I mean, all my ailments like went away. Within another 2-3 years, like it was just like minor ailments left over, but I was feeling pretty good, you know. And then within another year, I mean, everything went away, and I felt great. I felt actually better at 40, 4 years old than I felt at 25, 26. And obviously better than 32. That's when I completely fell apart. I mean,
Right.
it was so bad. Just so you understand, I could not walk to the bathroom without blacking out. That's how bad it was. I mean, I was walking around with a goddamn cane, at freaking 30 years old. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And when I was doing business like overseas, in Russia, Ukraine, Lithuania, and all those people, you always got to drink. Like, I never had a problem with alcohol, but that's like the post-Soviet kind of mentality. Oh, you're not going to drink with me to close this deal? Oh, you don't respect me. You better drink a whole bottle of Hennessy. You better drink half a bottle of vodka. And I had to do it, to make
Mhm.
that money. And obviously that didn't help, with the health.
Right. Right.
Like when you're eating, I used to eat steak 3 times a day, and chase that with Hennessy XO and with vodka and with Coca-Cola and, smoke cigars. And like, it was just terrible. I mean, I was just killing myself at like a 10x pace, and obviously I'm not Iron Mike, even Iron Mike is not Iron Mike, but
Yeah.
yeah, you so happen to him, like until it
Yeah.
straightened
Right.
out. Yeah, and then it all caught up to me at once, because like everybody thinks, oh, it's okay. I'm gonna restore it later, and then eventually, bam, when it all hits at once. Yeah, so obviously, I cut all that out. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't eat, I don't need like any of that stuff. I follow the diet religiously. I do breath work, meditation every day, like and I just work. That's kind of both on the MDHS R&D team and on my own business. Next Level DeFi. And that's kind of been my jam for the past over 7 years now, and I'm feeling great. I mean, there's still some minor things, like that time I got smashed on the zip line in Ukraine, that's still a little twingy, but that's nothing, and I already got ways to fix that. It's not urgent at all. Like I'll take care of it in the next couple of years, The things are in the works to solve that. Yeah, but otherwise I'm completely healthy. The business is doing great. I mean, I'm super busy with, because I'm actually 3 teams. Preston knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. So that's kind of been my journey, and I'm really excited for the future, because I just want to deepen my MDHS practice even more, and kind of integrate it with all the other arts that ancillary practices that I've been doing, like breath work and meditation, and fitness and stretching and things like that. But MDHS is always the main pillar. That's what
Right.
holds everything. Without that, everything will fall apart and just explode all around me. Those
Right.
practices on their own, they're not gonna like sustain you. You need MDHS as the core practice, and then you add those practices on top of that to address the other things like physical, mental, psychological. They help, but on their own, nah, it ain't gonna do it. I'm sorry. I've tried. I know. I I tried it on my own. Didn't work. Because
Right.
I tried all
Right.
those things first. before MDHS, psychedelic, breath work, fasting. Yeah, all great, but something was missing. And obviously that missing piece of the puzzle was Mucusless Diet healing system by Professor Arnold Ehret. That's what was missing for me, and out there say it for the rest of the world, which is what we're working on the team to bring it to the people, bringing the light to the people that are still kind of suffering the tragedy of nutrition. That's what the world is suffering through.
Yeah, and folks are so brainwashed. We're just brainwashed
All
in
brainwashed.
this stupor where we believe that this aging process that's around us is normal, that it's normal to go to a nursing home, it's normal to I go to the hospital, it's normal to take these pharmaceutical medications, it's normal to just it's just a routine surgery, that's all, don't worry about it. It's normal to have all these things, and it's man, we're talking about physiological liberation, getting yourself to a point where you take your health into your own hands 100%. And in order to do that, to really heal, and see, this is the thing that people don't understand about deep healing, is you can't have anxiety, you can't be in a state of worry in order to heal. That's one of the things. And that's one of the things that forces you to cultivate yourself and raise your consciousness. Because if you want to heal, not only do you have to get your diet together, start and learn and understand and practice the art of fasting, and we got the lemon juice and distilled water enemas, and you got your herbology. We have the tools, but you have to get yourself to a place where you're not worried about everything, and you don't have to. If you need to take a break, you can. If you need to just spend a week or a month or sometimes a couple months laying in bed, working, it depends. And I'm talking because we're talking about real healing, and so it depends on what you're going through. So, but what people don't make the connection where if one of us, we're saying, okay, I'm trying to heal something critical, and I need to lay down, get a lot of bed rest. I'm fasting, I'm doing my enemas. And maybe I have to do that where I'm not very active for a month or maybe 2 months. And people will look at that and just look down at you like, oh, you're messing around. But if you do go get chemo, I don't want to call it therapy, call it chemo torture.
Or like murder.
If you go in that route, then, and this is not medical advice, it's like it's hard not to say things that don't get my videos taken down.
Our opinion. That's all it is.
It's just opinion. And I encourage you, don't even believe me, but just opinion. But if the people don't, it's like there's all this support and love to somebody. It's like, oh, they were diagnosed with the C word, and they gotta here's the chemo, and they're going through and they're losing their hair and they're going through that. They're sick. They can't go to work for, then they might be down for 6 months. And if they survive the therapy, then everybody's there to give them a hug, pat them on the back, and be like, you beat it. Yay. You don't get nothing. Well, now you do, because we have the community. But before you heal yourself of chronic illness on this path, you don't get no pat on the back. You don't get not from like loved ones that the people that thought you were crazy because you're laying on nature's operating table. You're on bed, laying there, and you're doing your enemas and you're fat, and people will get all concerned like, oh, I don't know, you're doing a whole lot of enemas. You haven't eaten anything in weeks, and you're just laying in bed all day. It's like, this is what it takes to heal when you're talking about chronic illness, because but you have to compare it to you have to compare it to the third leading cause of death in the country, which is medical related.
Yeah.
So compare it to that. So what would you rather do? Would you rather take a month out of your life to where you're doing less activity, you're fasting, but you're have to get yourself again in that space, almost like the Zen space where you accept this process. You have to accept that you're not going to be running miles and jumping off the walls all the time, being stimulated like you're addicted. Most people are addicted to being stimulated. So you could take 1 month, go through that process, not have to take a pill, not have to take a shot or any kind of chemo stuff, or you go down that other road and you can do your own research on the percentages of success and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, maybe that way, because we're in this backward, bizarre world society, that direction is supported. So you're like, oh, you're fighting, that whole thing.
Right.
But that's where this becomes the lonely path. But again, that's why we got the membership program, so you don't feel as lonely as we used to back in the day. But that's the thing. But people don't understand that. They don't make that connection that, yeah, there is a part of this where sometimes you have to shut it down. Is what we call it, shutting it down, and go through your elimination and pay recompense for what you did. It's like you're not experiencing anything that you don't deserve when you're going through this on this path. Like whatever it is you're going through is part of your physiological karma that you have to overcome. You have to clean yourself up.
Yeah, for sure. You got to pay the price, Whatever came in, it's got to come out. There's no way around it,
Yeah.
You can help yourself, but, yeah, when you're like lying for like a month, coughing up mucus, blowing your nose, and people are like, man, that is so weird, man. Why don't you just take a pill? Why don't you just take an injection? Why don't you just, stop the cleansing process with some toxic crap? And then you can get right back to work. Look at you. And you're like, no, I don't want to do that. I actually want to clean out the crap and then get back to work when I'm good and ready. But
Yeah.
many bosses are not going to understand that. They'll be like, what do you mean you're going to take a month off to blow your nose and spit some mucus into a cup? Like, and do enemas every day, 3 times a day. Distilled water, lemon juice, enemas. Like, they don't get that, Yeah, but I've had to do it multiple times. I mean, all that crap I consumed, the multiple steaks, the pasta, all the alcohol, all this coffee and crap. It all had to come out, man. There's only one way to do that.
Right.
Nobody can bypass. There's no shortcut. Trust me, I tried. I did all the crazy shit, like extreme fasting and dry fasting, and ayahuasca. Though the ayahuasca is good for a psychological piece, but MDHS is the way to go for everything else. I would say.
I mean, look at this. So, how many sick days per year is normal? Around 7 days.
Yeah,
So
my mother has 6 days all together, sick and vacation.
I mean, come on now.
That's
this because that's the thing. So but that gets to what we're talking about today. The reason that I was talking about why it's so important to get your that as you're going through this process, you have to get to a place where you're not worrying about other things, which means you can't be worrying about your finances while you because whether you have that set up or not, if you want to heal, you have to let go of your worry about where your money is going to come from and what you're going to do. And you have to immerse yourself into the fasting process. What we recommend doing is get this stuff set up before you go through your next elimination so that it's not that big a deal. So you have some residual income coming in. You have your affairs in order so that you planned to be able to shut things down if you need to, because again, like we say, there's nothing more important than your health. So this is not healthy. There's nothing rational about giving somebody 7 days in the condition that we're in. In the condition that we're in, 7 days. And most people go back to work sick because they don't heal. They don't cleanse themselves or anything. So even if they take, 7 days, what's the average so-called cold, which that's not a real thing, but it's like, okay, cold is like 10 days for the average person to get over that. So that's not even long enough. So they're still going back to work, blowing your nose. The average, and I looked this up a while ago, the average adult all around the world goes through has like cold and flu-like symptoms at least 3 times a year.
Not more.
Children have it 7 times a year. So if you have a parent with a child, there's a whole at any given month, there's some elimination going on. If you're not on this path, this is the you can, if you are going down this path, then you can start to control and understand and remove this stuff permanently. But this is this is outrageous. It's 7 days. So that's part of what we're going to talk about today. And again, I put the link in there. If you want to get the training on Tuesday, we'll be able to go a lot deeper into exactly how you do this in terms of the DeFi, decentralized finance, which is outside of the purview. We're not talking about like Coinbase and these centralized kind of things. Not the matrix. It's like there's a way to go further than that. Get your stuff out of the plain sight from the government entities. And that was the other thing. They if you pay attention to the news, they're always shutting down people's bank accounts.
Yeah.
And a lot of and half the time it's just there's nothing. They didn't do anything. There's no illegal activity. They didn't do anything. Doesn't matter. In this case, in the Canada case, this was politically related. I mean, really think about that. You think that you have control over your bank accounts. It's like, well, my name is on it. No, your person's name is on it. Don't have nothing to do with you as a human. Your corporation's name, that's another discussion for another day.
Yeah.
But you think you have all this freedom. It's like, oh, I've been with this bank for years. I've been with them for 20 years. And I have such a good relationship with Tommy at the branch, at my neighborhood branch. And I walk up there and I get my check. It's like and then out of nowhere, you get a thing in the mail saying we've frozen your account, or we're shutting down your account. Get all your funds out in the next 14 days. Thank you. It's like, well, what did I do? Oh, we're not going to tell you. We're not going to give you any more information. Just thank you. Just get out. That actually happened to me. That the latter part happened to me. Frozen accounts. These were people that were protesting, and Canada literally came in and they looked at pictures and they're like, okay, who's here? And they froze a bunch of people's accounts. So they
even froze people's account that donated to the cause.
And people, that wasn't even there. Yeah, people that donated. Yeah. I mean, that's
terrible.
So obviously you're dealing with something evil. This is an evil mucus-based, pus-based system.
Yeah.
And this is what you had to deal with. That's why, to me, it makes all the sense in the world to hedge your bets. You want to hedge. It's like, I'm not saying to get rid of all your bank accounts at all. And that's another discussion that we'll have another time. But some creative things you can do with the banks. But before that, you want to have stuff going over in the crypto space and then it's up to you what your risk tolerance is of all that. What Vadim is going to show you is a way to do things with as little risk as exists as possible, to where you can at least get some return on your investment immediately and not have to worry about, if you do what he says, if you do what he says,
do what I say.
But yeah, this is something that's always fascinating.
At least your bank gave you advance notice to withdraw your funds. I had situations overseas where they just took my funds, 90% of it right away. And they just told me, oh, we took it. Sorry. So like they literally stole my money. I mean, in US, you don't get a lot of that, but this DeFi thing, it's not about just, that. It's also about passive income,
Right.
But what we're talking about, where basically you don't, like right now you're exchanging your time for money. As soon as you stop putting in the time by taking the time to heal, that money stops coming in. That was a big part of the reason why I went into this, because I had many healing crises. I had to take care of myself. I sometimes was in bed for 2-3 weeks, just coughing up a storm, blowing my nose, mucus coming out, and I couldn't work. I couldn't do any business So I started setting up like passive sources of income in decentralized finance. But the bonus obviously is also that you have full control of those sources of income. Nobody can shut down my DeFi accounts. Like I control those personally. So so you have a passive source of income 24/7 and full control that nobody can take away. Not any country, not any government, nobody. You control it 100%. So I mean, you
Yeah,
get both, which
yeah,
which is
yeah. And
what you
so
want.
that's to dispel, because a lot of people think like, oh, well, it's just you're gambling and it's the horse race. It's like, not if you don't want to. That's not what we're talking about. I mean, that's what other people
No.
teach at. That's not what we're talking about. This is very safe, solid places that you can uh, invest, and just if nothing else, you can try to combat inflation. Just if nothing else, because as
And
the
then some.
dollar loses its value every second of the day, you'll be able to have some gains coming in.
Yeah, like when I talk about meme coins and making 1,000x's on crazy dog picture NFTs and all this craziness that's going on in Solana and Ethereum layer twos. Like, nah, if you want to do that, that's gambling and that's fine. Like you can do your gambling with 10% of your money, but the other 90%, you're better off putting into like stable coin farms and getting 20% a year on your money all the time, 24/7, 365, without doing any work whatsoever. You could just be lying in bed, having a crazy cleaning crisis. Meanwhile, you check your, DeFi account a week later. Oh, look, I got some money. It's like magic, only it's not. It's DeFi. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
great, man. That's kind of been my journey, because I started off with trading also. I started with speculating, and I still do some of those things. They're fun, I got some Bitcoin, I got some Ethereum, I got some Solana meme coins that I'm playing with, but I'm definitely not gonna base my income strategy off of that, or plan my future on a dog with hat or whatever butt coin. Like as neither should you. Like a lot of people put their life savings like butt coin. I'm like, really? And then when it tanks 95% over a week, and they're like, oh my god, what happened there? I'm like, gee, I didn't see that one coming. Not. Like, come on, guys.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah. And
Uh,
so that's what we're going to be talking about. Again, sign up, come join us where we can get way deeper and show you exactly how to do this stuff on Tuesday, 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So it's just a couple days away, and this is some of what we're going to talk about. Is the to tell us what's this about, this
yeah, what you see
the
here is basically, APR. That's your annual return, per year. Like 400% on your money, 300%. And that's all legit. I mean, I've been collecting this type of yields for years. And then I think like 1% of the population even knows about this stuff. That's called liquidity mining, and 1% of the 1% know about liquidity mining on Moonbeam, which is like this little network blockchain that nobody knows about. And basically, they're just attracting people, to give out this free money. So you can just come and get free cash, liquidity incentives, basically, so you can provide liquidity to the traders, So instead of trading and taking all the crazy risks and doing all the meme coin stuff, you can actually provide a service to those traders and get paid every day, every week, every year on your money passively, completely passively. It takes me about maybe 15 minutes a week to get this kind of return on my money. And you do need some capital, that's basically like a turbocharged savings account. Only instead of getting 4% a year, you're getting 470% a year, 200% a year. Like, yeah, like, who wouldn't want to do that, right? I
right.
mean, come on. It's like people giving out free money and everybody's like, nah, I don't want that. I'll keep my money in Chase or Citibank or whatnot, get my little 4 or 5%. And 4 or 5%, that's only like in the last, 5, 6 years. It used to be, remember, 0.01%,
Yeah, yeah,
0.04%. I mean, as soon as I started, getting this knowledge out there, they raised the rates and now it's like 4 or 5%. Back in the day, it was like 0.01%, which made my job really easy. I was like, let's see, do you want to get 0.01% per year or 110% per year? Let me think about that one,
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean and I've been doing this for a while. It definitely works. It works for everybody. As long as you have basic computer skills, like you know how to use a browser, you know how to use a mouth, you know how to use a computer, you do need that, and you have a little bit of money, you don't need much. Trust me, with those kinds of returns, you need a lot of money if you're in regular banking, because at 4 or 5% a year, you're gonna need a healthy stack of cash to get any meaningful amount of cash
Right.
of money out, But with this kind of returns, you don't need much, and it grows and compounds. There are ways to order compound, but I don't want to get into the weeds. That's for the training workshop. I've been working at that training workshop for years. I think was it like 5 years now, 6 years now.
Yeah,
Professor's been
yeah,
with
yeah.
me since the very beginning, since
Right, yeah,
back in the trenches. Now
yeah.
now I'm bringing this stuff out, everywhere, and kind of like getting this training to as many people as possible, because people need to know about this. Like that's my mission, to help people escape from the banking system. I'm sure the banks are gonna hate me, hence the matrix. I'm like, it's like I am in the matrix still. Obviously, I'm in New York City, right? But I figured out the code. Like Neo, I can see the little code scrolling on my screen. I'm like, oh, so that's how you get it. And I want to teach you that as well, so that way you can have passive income from your savings that's large enough to enable you to take a month off, 2 months off, to go on vacation without worrying about putting in the time and calling your boss and telling him, oh, I'll be out. Be like, no, you can't be out more than a week, otherwise you get fired. Be like, all right, that's fine. I got my DeFi, yields coming in. Like
Right.
I quit.
Yeah.
Screw you. Like that. That's the dream. I mean, that's what I ended up doing, right? Like when I made some money, in my business adventures before I got struck down by the gods of pus and mucus,
Mhm.
I put that money into passive sources of income like this. And then I was free to pursue my practice, to practice Mucusless Diet healing system, along with all the other ancillary therapies. And I had the time to research, all these
Right.
things. If I would have to work full time, probably even 2 3 jobs, not even one job nowadays with the inflation. I mean, the days of like one person working one full time job and providing for 2 people and a kid and a dog, that's like the good 80s, right? The 70s and 80s. Nowadays, you need 2 3 jobs from both partners in the household just to keep your head above the water, just to tread, right? That's
Right.
it's not gonna happen. Yeah, that was a big part of the reason why I researched this. Another part was when I got robbed by those banks. That was the second reason. They actually stole a lot of my money that I earned over like 15 years. It was terrible. And the good thing I was squirreling things away into crypto. So they couldn't touch that. They tried, obviously. They failed, you know. Yeah, and then once I figured all this out, I'm like, man, I got to get this information out, because nobody was doing this. I don't think anybody still is doing it. I think I'm the only guy that's bringing this liquidity mining hack to people worldwide. Everybody else thinks it's too complicated. See, but what I took on, my big mission, as Professor knows, is to basically bring this to people of any skill level, to boil down this pretty cutting edge, pretty complicated stuff down to easy to digest and understand, like processes and terms. That's what I've been working on for the past almost 7 years now, and I think I'm doing a pretty good job. Professor is was actually helping me with everything this whole time, so he knows what I'm talking about. Like we've been trying to distill it down, make it so easy, make the
Yeah,
support
yeah.
so
Make
easy,
it, yeah,
everything.
just idiot proof.
Idiot proof, but like we're still failing sometime, but it's okay. I think right now it's at a point where basically anybody can do it, unless you're really like have computer issues. And actually, I think I figured that out too, because back in the day I used to be in IT support. I used to be a network admin, so I still got my help desk skills on deck to help people that have issues. Yeah, it's been real exciting, and now it's getting even bigger. This crypto DeFi, like the interest is at all time high. So there's many people now that are more accepting of it. Now that U.S. turned pro crypto with Donald Trump's inauguration. I mean, you've seen they're basically he signed an order to make a Bitcoin strategic reserve in U.S. There was like a whole crypto summit with a bunch of crypto company owners, like the twins. What was it? Their name? The Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, the twin CEOs of Gemini, right? The brothers. I
Mhm.
always forget their fancy name, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like all these people back when Biden was on, there was Operation Choke Point 2.0. That's when they were actually trying to cut off all the crypto companies from standard banks. So that way people have no chance to get their money out of the banks and into like decentralized finance and into crypto and to control it on their own. That, because then the government loses control. In Biden's government, they were all about control, trying to take away our guns, trying to take away our crypto, trying to take away our bodily autonomy. I mean, I don't want to say words. I don't want to get Professor in trouble with the gods of YouTube, but you all know what I'm talking about. The dreaded C word, like, so it was a pretty rough time for the first like 4 years, and they could have gone either way. I'm just thankful that now US is turning towards freedom, towards crypto, towards alternative healing modalities, actually, with RFK Jr. He's not in our camp yet, but I think we can work on that. I think we can convert him a little bit towards us. At least he's not going to be hostile to, Mucusless Diet healing system practitioners like the previous administration was. They were completely in cahoots with the, FDA and CDC and that gang, trying to get us.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I
man.
don't, yeah. I mean, I don't have as peachy of a, because I don't trust none of them anyway. So I'm just like, man, it's like because we gotta, for me, you gotta live your life like they don't even exist. It's like,
Oh yeah,
here's our little thing. And because they're professionals at letting you down. That's the whole politician thing, is they are a professional letting you down type of people. But the is always, for me, it's always just about freedom as the foundation. It's like whatever freedom means for you in your life. So if freedom means that you're able to add another 10, 15, 20 years of quality life to the end of your life, to where you can have a proper transition where you're not all decrepit and in pain. You're actually functioning until the end, and you're able to play with your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, your great great grandchildren, because you're still here, and you're able to really enjoy that level of life. And you have the wisdom that comes with age. People don't even talk about that. Like, that's a perk of getting older, is like, but for most people, it's not a perk, because they're not getting wiser, because they're getting sicker, because they're not in alignment with nature and understanding these principles. And so that is why it is so important to take the necessary steps to pursue freedom, and to get yourself in a position where you're able to free yourself from the nonsense. And
many people, they like rely on Social Security taking care of them in their old age. And meanwhile, I mean, you've seen what's happening with, Elon Musk and all that. Social Security is getting basically like robbed and pilfered by the previous administration. So, they're not even sure there's anything left in there, right? And then a lot of people, they expect to retire at like, 65, 70. And then looky here, they can't pay you anything. And you haven't created any passive income streams for yourself either. So how are you going to support yourself in your old age?
And that was actually something that I wanted to bring up, because so this will be something that everybody can take with them today, because if you are expecting the government to help you out when you're older, you better plan maybe for things. So this is part, I did this, and I was going to find my presentation, but couldn't. I didn't find the presentation, but this is, here. So there's something called, in the United States, the Medicaid 5-year look back. So a lot of people, because they don't do the financial planning, there's things that you can do like trusts, but there's certain types of trust. Again, we'll talk about that another day, but there's things that you can do so that, and you want to do it far enough in advance, so your Social Security number slave person doesn't have any, it doesn't own anything. It doesn't have any funds in its name. Most people don't know to do that. So they get a whole bunch of savings. It's like, I saved up for retirement. I got $1 million. I got 800K. I got 500K. and you think that's okay, this is what I'm going to use when I'm older and I'll be in the nursing home, or I'll do whatever I need to do. And what you realize is, okay, as long as you have that money in an account that has your person on it, and again, this isn't financial advice, all these disclaimers.
Do your own research.
Do your own research. Only reason I know about this is because I dealt with this with my aunt. And so most people don't realize this until it's way too late. So what happens is, if you have that money or the person, you or whoever the elder that's in this situation, and they find themselves where they need assistance, and you're working a 9 to 5, so you can't be there to help them, or maybe you're doing whatever you're doing, so you can't be there to change their bedpan and to get them out of bed and to do the things that you need to do to take care of somebody that's bedridden or in a wheelchair. So what they do is, okay, this person, they saved up all this money and they have that in their account. And what ends up happening is there's a certain period of time where maybe the Medicare will cover some stuff for a little while, but eventually you're likely to be paying $15,000 to $20,000 a month in bills just to stay at a nursing home, they sell skilled nursing facilities. And they drink, because think about that. Say you think you have a lot, it's like, oh, I got $500K in the bank. Like I said, you can have $1 million in the bank. 20,000, and that's the cheaper ones. And that's like kind of the going to the ghetto ones. If you want a nicer one, it's gonna be like 25, 30K again a month. People always talk about the price of college, and they'll be like, oh, college is $60,000 a year.
Yeah,
we're talking about $30,000 a month. When you're sick and decrepit, think about how evil that is. When you start peeling back, then as we're talking about the Matrix, you start to peel back the layers. This is absolutely evil.
They just got
to even have a rule like this, because what happens is, say they tried to transfer some money out of their person, so their Social Security, over into a trust or into some kind of instrument or something like that, but it's within those 5 years. So say, you transferred stuff to your heirs at 65, but at the age of 68, you have a stroke and you end up in a wheelchair, and now you're in a nursing home, and they're not going to give you the Medicaid. If you're wanting that, they're not going to give you that until your account has totally been drained. And once your person's account has been drained, and even if you tried to get that money someplace else, again, they're going to look 5 years back. And they're like, well, hey, you transferred several $100,000 a couple years ago, so we're not going to give you the Medicaid. Then it's like, okay, what do I do now? And that's like, well, that sounds like a you problem.
Yeah.
And that's their attitude. It's cold, man. This system, there ain't nothing. It is so cold. Like people think that the court system and the jails and all that. They're horrible, but man, this is a cold ass system, and people have no clue. People have no clue how cold this is, and so that's why we're saying, wherever you're at now, whatever age you are, whether you're 18 or you're 85, like you need to do this. You need to get these things in order, so they can't, that you got to take yourself out of playing these games with these monsters, with these demons, because that's all this is. This is sickening. And on top of that,
yeah, you don't want to find out the hard way,
So this is my aunt. She passed away 2 years ago, 2023, and she raised me, so she was like my mother. She had a medical procedure that the government told her to get, and she passed out. and was trapped in the bathroom for 11 hours. And luckily the neighbors found her, and she ended up in the hospital, and she couldn't function. She had she couldn't barely say her name. And and she thought she had great insurance. Well, come to find out, the insurance company denied. It's like, does she look like she's in any condition to do anything? And they said, oh no, she didn't really need to go to the emergency room. We're going to deny the claim, and we're going to charge you $31,000. This is the actual thing we got in the mail. Now, if she didn't have, for people that don't have somebody like me that can go to war, I went to war on these people. Like they couldn't apologize to me enough once I was done with them. But most people don't have me. You know what I mean? Like, so does she look like she was be in the condition to be able to fight these demon monsters? You know what I'm saying? So this is why the membership is so important. Connecting the community where we're going to build something better than this system.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to come Tuesday to get this education on the crypto side of things. And all of this education, that's what the whole piece is about, where we share this as we want to be able to protect ourselves and grow to the point. Oh, wait a minute. You're not, hold on. You're not seeing what I'm actually showing.
Oh. Yeah. You got to get your health and your wealth in order, not one or the other, both. Otherwise they got a place for you, like Brother Eric says, and that place is nowhere good. Trust me.
Right.
You don't want to go to the place they got set up for you. Like,
yeah,
it's all bad news, all of it.
Yeah. Here's the picture. This is my aunt, and this is what I'm talking about. Does she look like she's in the condition to fight these monsters? Where this is what came in the mail, saying they literally said her condition isn't bad enough to warrant an emergency room visit. So laying down for 11 hours, almost dying on the floor in a bathroom, trapped on the ground. That's not a bad enough condition to be admitted into the emergency room. So you're going to deny the claim and say that you owe all this money. Now that's a whole, and that's even a whole other set. Like if I knew then what I know now, because this is illegal in itself. All debt is collected illegally. And again, we'll talk about that another day.
A separate podcast.
But this is that's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna share it with when the time is right. I'm gonna share some of these things that I learned. But the point is this evil nature of, well, you have a system where they got a 5-year look back, and because they know right at that time when people are starting to, because really that's totally, it's like unconstitutional. It's against human rights, because they're getting in the way of your freedom of association, freedom of contract. And again, there's things that can be done to deal with all these situations in different ways, but just to understand what we're dealing with, the level of evil, the evil nature of this is demonic. These are demons that's dealing with this stuff, coming in, taking somebody that's in this condition, and this is the food that they're going to give you. You're going to pay $4,000 a day
for that.
And this is the food that they're going to bring you. Has nothing to do with healing. This is evil. This is what evil looks like. You ever want to know what evil looks like? Look no further than your nearest hospital, your nearest health insurance agency. All of this is ran by some demons and constructed and put together by Pus and Mucus. This is the system that Pus and Mucus built. Absolutely insane. You go
They
for
make
3
they make
days.
sure you stay in the hospital with that kind of food.
They make sure you stay in the hospital.
Yeah, that's all
It,
this is. Here you
it's
go, eat
like,
this. Oh, you're feeling worse. That's okay. Eat some more. You need the strength, right? You need to heal. That's healing food. Yeah, looks like it, right? Terrible.
yeah, yeah. It's so that's the thing. So the point is, we have to start being more serious about our freedom, understanding that we're in a slave position. Like people see, I don't have a whole lot of sympathy for happy slaves, for people that are happy about their servitude, that really think that, oh, this system is so great in this society. We're the United States and we got a good society. It's like we're slaves. The question is, are you a happy slave? Are you a slave in denial? So I guess there's three. In denial, like, well, I'm not a slave. A happy slave is like, well, this is great. Like I can go to the football game on Friday. We go to the basketball game, and you know, I
7 days
get
a year vacation
7 days. I got
and
vacation
sick
7 days.
all in one.
Yeah, 7 days of sick days. And I can do my I just that whole system. I got my Medicare and my Medicaid and my pension, and just I'm a happy member of the
Everything they do.
society until it all falls apart. Until your domicile catches fire and all that was happening down Southern California. You mean we have all this technology, all of these so-called brilliant people, and we can't create systems enough to deal with fires in a place where we know fires happen.
Yeah.
And we're talking about even rich people. This is folks that had money that got burned along with poor people. Because usually when these things happen in the hood or in poor people, you don't even hear about it. They'd be like, let it burn.
Aren't paying either. That's
what I'm saying. The insurance
they got
companies,
them. They're like, nope, no payouts for you. I'm sorry. Yeah,
and that's what I'm saying. The insurance companies aren't paying, and so it's like, okay. And so what we're saying is, and what the Mucusless Diet healing system calls you to do is to take your life into your own hands. His brother Arrow was just talking to him the other day. He called most people are suffering from post-traumatic culture syndrome. Yeah, that's give credit to Brother Air. That's his term. I still like to call it post-traumatic slave disorder, but post-traumatic, so to not get it confused with any other historical complications, we'll just say, post-traumatic culture disorder, where it's this culture programming, all this programming that we're supposed to live a certain way. Most people aren't living an authentic life. You're not living a sovereign life. You're living a life that has been designed by somebody else for you. Medicaid, that was designed for you. You're a beneficiary of somebody else's stanky trust. And I don't want, and I want to opt out. No, thank you. Thank you. No, thank you. I don't need to be a beneficiary of your nonsense. We create our own situation over here.
Yeah, depending on that, it's pretty foolish, especially considering it's like almost empty because they've been spending it left and right on all kinds of crazy shit. As Doge found out, the money's not even there anymore. They spend it already. So all these people like expecting to get Social Security at 65, 70, I don't know what they're counting on. Like the money's gone unless they print some more, and then the value of money goes down. So that's kind of a fool's game also, right? It's like, yeah, you're gonna get paid. We'll just print some more. Yeah, but then a loaf of bread is gonna cost like $70. Like in Germany. Hello. Yeah, not great. Yeah, I'm definitely not, depending on Social Security. I'm building my own decentralized Social Security payments, every day, every year. So at this point, I'm good. And obviously, I advise all you to do the same.
All these people that had these fires, like you said, the insurance company. So it's like you pay this much, you pay money to an insurance company, and in some states, you're forced to have it. So you're forced to pay all this money, and then because of, and it's just ignorance and policies and all kinds of nonsense, but they won't take care of it. So you got $1 million house that just burnt to the ground. You're liable for that. Nobody's going to give you a dime for that in a lot of these cases. A lot of these people came to find out the hard way. And so the point is, again, you can't put all your mangoes in one basket. Eggs in one basket. You have to really strategize and really think about this stuff. And if freedom is a priority, it's like, that's my message is, once freedom becomes a priority for you, then you start to think differently. You start to think you become an unhappy slave. Like, I don't appreciate this. I don't appreciate I get a check and half the check is gone already before it even gets to me. Why? It's like, you got to question it. Like, hold on a second. Is there a way to not have to do that? And again, not financial advice. We'll talk about that later. But it is what it is. And so we have work to do. And for me, that's the number one priority. That's the most important thing that you can do, is pursue freedom. Physiological freedom, financial freedom, the freedom to do what it is you want to do, as long as it doesn't harm anybody. Because we're talking about, if you're abiding by the number one golden rule, the common law, which is do unto others as you would have them do to you. So if you're not hurting other people, you're doing contracts with people, get legally under the common law, everything's good. But they got a whole other thing set up for you that's not dealing with the golden rule. 5 years, is this the golden rule?
Yeah,
You're
own rule.
Expressing your redress to your government, and they say, "Oh, we're gonna freeze your bank accounts. How you like them apples?"
Welcome to democracy.
Is that? Well, that's not. Democracy. That's not even
freedom. You're right.
Yeah, welcome to
Canada. More like
right. 7 days. You're sick, and you get 7 days a year. Is that in alignment with the golden rule? Is that do unto others how you would have them do to you? Or is this more like slavery? Is this a little bit more like a slave-based system?
Well, now like the best slave is one that doesn't think he is. That's
what they want.
Right?
They want obedient slaves for their
self-governing slaves. Basically
self-governing. It's just you pay your taxes on time, do this, do that, but is this in alignment with the golden rule? 5-year Medicaid look back. You go through a problem, you can't function, and that's something I did in that presentation. Eventually, I'm gonna release my Eric Day presentation from that year, but I talk about the history of nursing homes are actually poorhouses. They were originally the poorhouses that would have elderly, orphans, mentally ill, like everybody was in one place, and they usually were part of some kind of trust put together by a religious institution, and they would take in the poor, the elderly, the sick, the whatever, and it would just be this environment that you would not really want to be in. And then that model it became the basis of the modern day nursing home. It was the poorhouse, and they run it that way with these type of policies. So 5-year look back is that kind? Is that the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have them do to you, or is this evil? This seems pretty evil to me.
It's like profit at any cost, like whatever it takes. That's how they think.
Because I mean, it's just so sad because people really think that they, like my aunt, and that's why I'm so passionate about it, because I just went through this. My aunt really, she worked so hard and got some money up, and in the 9 months she was paying 20 grand a month for 9 months, and doctors told her she would never walk again, and she was able to walk again, and because she was in this condition. 9 months after this, she did the physical therapy, had to pay her way all the way through it, and she got to a point where she was able to come home. Tragically, 3 months after that, she didn't want to listen to me, so she listened to the government. She got a particular medical procedure, and she even believed that that's what the problem was. It's like she relented, because we had some fight. We actually had some fights about this, because generally we didn't have no problems. Where she was like, all right, you do your diet, I'm gonna do what we do. We just didn't even talk about it. But when it came to the programming was so deep with this medical procedure nonsense that this was the first time we actually even had an argument about anything in years. And I'm like, are you really seriously telling me you think that I should get this medical procedure? Me? Do you know who's like, you know who I am?
Yeah, like come on.
Hey, come on now. Like, it was really a real fight that we had. And she got it. And the thing with that was, the thing that messes everybody up is you don't know which one is the kill shot. So you can get a couple of them and like, well, I'm fine. Even though, I think even the first one, she was sick for a month. So she got her arm was like hurt for a month. And, but then she went back again, got another one. So by the time she got to that third one, the third one was the one that was the initial thing that took her out, that started the process, put her in this condition. And then a year later, if you didn't learn, if you do some more. And it's like, and so I'm sharing, this is like personal. I'm sharing this because I want other people to learn. If you can learn, because I think she would want that too. She might not want to be, to be seen in this condition, but I'm saying I'm the executor, and I'm saying she would want other people to be helped. She would want other people to know that there's another way to go about things. You don't have to go down this road. You don't have to like trust everything. Like they have your well-being at heart or something. It's like, no, that thing is evil from top to bottom. There might be there's a couple good. I like my doctor. He's nice. The thing, it's evil from top to bottom. If you want to help your doctor, give them a copy of the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Encourage them to renounce their medical license, open up a trust, a private membership association, and start teaching people this. Teach people how to heal themselves with the Mucusless Diet Healing System. Anything other than that, we're talking evil. And so if you want to get in alignment, be on the right side of history and the right side of spirituality, for lack of a better term, then you're going to want to do this. You want to be on this side of things, be on the natural healing side, because the body heals itself when you know what to do and you know how to do it. And this is how it is. Now, like I always say, the disclaimer of certain circumstances, until we have our own emergency services built up. If you're in an emergency situation, then go to the emergency room.
Yeah, that works fine.
That's the one thing that they do well, be a lot better, but they know how to stabilize you when trauma hits. a traumatic situation, you're in a car accident, I'm gonna be like, yeah, take me, whatever drugs you pump me with, I will detox it out later. I do not consent to the V scene, but all the other little painkillers, all that stuff, that's easy. That's it. You can deal with that. And so take me there, get me stable. And as soon as I'm stable, I'm getting the hell out of there. Like, yeah, all right, give me the cane, give me this wheelchair. I'm rolling myself out of here as soon as I'm stable. Because as soon as you're stable, they're coming in with that food, and they're bringing in, here's your chicken pot pie and your reconstituted beef and mashed potato nonsense. It's like, no, it's time to get the hell out of here at that point. But do what you need to do. But the thing is, be prepared. And part of being prepared, do the best you can getting your financial affairs in order. Do the best you can making smart decisions in terms of savings and investments and that kind of thing. Making smart decisions on how do you take yourself. It's like, how do you, as we said with the Matrix, use the system and don't be used by the system. Yeah. Because we didn't build this. And so I'm not the type of person that's going to tell you to renounce your social security number and to never use. It's like, no, do what you need. My thing, some people will. What I'm saying is, you let that be a shell. That was a corporation that was given to you when you were born. You didn't have nothing to do with it, but that's the way that people interface and do. If you're not gonna totally renounce society, if you want to do some kind of business around here, then it's like, oh yeah, no problem. Okay, open an account and you need the slave number. Okay, but there's also going to be certain EIN numbers that you're going to want to have. So you're not actually doing business. Again, that's another discussion. Now you're not actually doing business with your with the slave number. But this is what we're talking about. But this is the kind of advanced discussions and the kind of advanced technology, life tech. That's why we're talking. And some people be like, "Why are you talking to finances?" It's called Mucus-free Life.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, mucus-free life. It's about living a life of physiological liberation, financial freedom, freedom to educate your children the way you want, raise them the way you want without fear of some evil entity coming in and trying to take your children from you. It's about that level. Like, this is a revolution. We say the most revolutionary thing that you can do is learn how to control what you're putting in your body. So for me, this is a revolution. But we don't, there ain't no, we don't need to be killing nobody. There ain't no, at least me, I don't need to. I can pray for somebody's death if you're in my way. but just get out the way. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Get out of my way. And we're good. But that's it. It's revolution. And so that's the energy you got to bring. That's the mindset you got to bring. This isn't about, if you want to be free, if you want to renounce your slave status, then you're going to have to bring a little bit of hardcore attitude to the table. You're not going to be able to be soft and scared, because that's what they want. They want you to be soft, scared, and to go with the program. And we're saying, no, we're not going to do that. And we're stronger together. We're stronger together.
You got to get out of your comfort zone and put in some hard work. It takes work and dedication. Like, look how many people got forced into taking the shot. It was either that or lose your job, right? So many people were like, no, this is bullshit. I don't want this. And they're like, okay, well, you're going to be fired then. And you're not going to be able to put food on the table and provide for your kids and pay your rent. Right? Now, if they had other sources of income, passive income, active income, whatever it is, right? Then they could have just said, screw you, I'm not doing that, and that's it. And they could have just lived on that other source of income and got another job, or even better, invested some more money and got rid of the job altogether, right? And worked on things that they want to work on, like the arid island and, and arts and music.
Because my thing is, it's like, what what were you brought to this world to do? Because I'm not talking about going and just like, oh, I'll be rich and I'm gonna be lazy, I'm gonna sit here. It's like, no, you were brought here to help people somehow. How can you help? What's your ministry? How can you be of service to your brothers and sisters on this planet? What the system has done is it occupies you. The word occupation is used for a reason. They occupy your time and your energy so that so much of your time isn't going into helping your family, helping your community, because you're worried, you're stuck in this slave status, working for the, they say the man, I'm saying working for the demon, not the man. It's like working for the demon. And it's like, nah, but what were you brought here to do? When you actually get yourself in alignment with that and you're helping people, again, do unto others as you would have them do to you. So if you put yourself in a position where you're helping people in a way that nobody else on this earth can, there's something that you can do to help other people that only you can do. And when you are not in alignment with that, you will be sad. You can be angry. You can have emotional disturbance. You're not going to be centered. You're not going to feel good. And that's what the reason people then go and do what? They go medicate themselves, self-medicate, alcohol, drugs.
That's what I used to do.
I mean, right. And that's where Vadim is coming out of here.
Yeah, just alcohol, drugs. And I was never addicted, but it was always like, I was like, what the hell am I doing with my life? Like, screw it. I'm just going to have a drink, smoke a joint, take some drugs, party away. And then you kind of mask the pain, anesthetics, and then it catches up to you and bam, you just fall down. And
that's part of the programming. We're taught that, the P. Diddy party is the height. That's the highest level you can get to is, I was invited to a P. Diddy party. We had an orgy and everything. And I forgot a bunch of it. I woke up, my butt hurt, and I woke up, but everybody assured me that nothing happened.
Baby oil on me everywhere.
I had fun though. I'm popular. I was invited to the P. Diddy party. That's all.
The diddler.
The diddler. It's all plus mucus world based, and that's the thing. And so that's self-medication.
Yeah.
When you take yourself out of that, where you're like, well, I don't drink. I don't need to drink to feel better. I'm not trying to suppress anything. I don't need to take a pill. What are they talking about? The fentanyl epidemic crisis.
Yeah.
And I saw a thing on that, why that even happens, because it's like such a small amount.
All small, man.
Such a small amount is fatal. And so in a rational world, you would never, you're not going to take any poison, any amount of poison that's going to kill you, even if it kills you slowly over time. But if it kills you immediately.
Yeah, like right away. I think it's like half a needle pin. That's how deadly it was. Like half a needle point kills you. That's insane. There's no way to detect it. It's like, and it's everywhere, So like the only 100% proof way to not die is to not do any drugs at all. Just cut them out, and that's it. And a lot of people couldn't do that. I was shocked. Back in the day when I was doing it, I was going crazy, like partying. That was not a thing, So there was no like immediate death, threat when you do these things. Nowadays, I don't know how people like just risk their lives for what, like 3 hours of relaxing. Nah, I'm good. Like I'm just not gonna do that at all, and just we're gonna eat a durian and feel great basically for the next 3-4 hours. Pro tip: if you're following this path, durian is the way to go if you want to get the equivalent of party drugs or drinking.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. And you have to clean your body up to get to a point where you no longer want the poison. You crave the foods, you crave the substances that actually heal you. You crave the foods that make you feel the best. But if you've never come down off of the pus and mucus forming foods, you don't know what it is to be sober. You've never been sober.
Yeah.
So you don't have a frame of reference to even know what we're talking about. Sobriety is not something you've experienced yet.
Like real sobriety.
Real sobriety.
Not what they think sobriety is, which is just like, oh, I don't do drugs, I don't drink, and I'm sober. I'm like, really? You don't eat pus and mucus? You don't get
as they're like chain smoking cigarettes at the rehab center. That always, like coffee and cigarettes at the rehab center.
Three espressos a day.
10 days since I did whatever. And, it's just like, come on now. Lemon
sober.
Juice and distilled water enemas. Well, no, bacon and I used to watch, this was years ago with the celebrity, like Dr. Drew, and it was like the rehab, and then this was even before celebrity rehab. I think they just had regular people, and then they had the celebrity rehab. I don't know, but I just remember seeing people. They'd be like patting each other on the back and be several days in, and they start going through the shakes and they're kicking the habit and stuff. But in the morning, they got a plate, bacon and eggs, cigarettes, and coffee.
And espresso, or double espresso. Which is
double.
Like meth basically in the cup. That's what that is. Like, come on now.
And
I haven't had coffee in like 10 years or something, I think.
And what's this? They're trying to hide these numbers because the numbers aren't coming up, but they say opioids are the deadliest drug type. 71% of ODs, opioids kill more than 3 times as many people as cocaine. Go back to the 1990s. This is the history lesson. What did they start doing? This wasn't like illegal on the streets and kind of stuff. The doctors were incentivized to give as many people as they possibly could opioids.
I think they were giving out heroin or something, like, prescribing it at some point. Before they figured out that it's like super addictive and deadly. Duh.
Well, no, they knew. They knew.
They did, yeah.
The populace, it was like when you say they figured out, it was the populace, the doctor, they've always known. Yeah. But they were getting paid. And so so now it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like look at the OxyContin, thing. There's like
that's what I'm talking about. The OxyContin.
Family, what's their name? I'm terrible with last names. That whatever the family that sells the OxyContin, they made like billions of dollars. And they marketed it as like a safer, non-addictive alternative because they had the coating that releases slowly. But then all you have to do is just break down the tablet and snort it, and you get like the whole high that's supposed to be there for like 2 days. You get it right away, which is basically, like speed, amphetamines. Yeah, and then the doctor started getting hooked. It was like terrible. Yeah, then they just paid a fine and everything was good. They're like, oh, don't worry, we'll pay like a $300 million fine, but we made $3 billion on this drug. Shit, that's a great business just from a numbers standpoint. Like, who cares about people dying, getting addicted, families being ruined? That's, collateral damage. It's fine. As long as we made $3 billion this year and our shareholders got paid fat, juicy dividends, right? That's all that matters. Yeah, and we have the money to bribe all the judges and, police officers and attorneys. Yeah, can't trust them.
Yeah,
private or government medicine, they do not have your best interests in mind. Trust me, they do not. I learned that the hard way, man. I mean, shit, they did 2 surgeries on me, and it turns out those surgeries weren't even needed. They literally cut off a piece of my spine twice, and turns out I didn't even need that because the pain that I was having, it was a psycho-emotional pain from the stress, from the extreme stress that I was under from business. Like one guy even opened up my shoulder, went in there, and he said, "Oh, it's fine." Like, I'm like, why the hell did you open me up?
They're like, here, let's take a look.
Like they put me under.
Looks
they
good.
They gave me full, like sedation, which is already super dangerous in itself, just that alone. And then freaking cut open my shoulder, went in there, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine." I'm like, you couldn't tell that by an MRI without like putting me under and opening me up, It was just terrible. After that, I lost all faith in doctors. I was like, you know what? Screw all of you. Like, I'm gonna be my own doctor, and I'm gonna do my own research, and I'm gonna take responsibility for my own body. And if I die, I die. Okay, how about that? Every time somebody tells me, "Oh, well, like, aren't you scared? What are you, a doctor?" I'm like, yes, I'm a goddamn doctor. I'm my own doctor. I've done my own research, and I'm controlling my own body. And if I screw up, well, tough shit. Then I guess I die. You know? And yeah, as you can see, I'm doing pretty fine. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
dying anytime soon. You know, like, I feel actually great, much better than I
Yeah.
felt when I was, trusting the doctors, trusting the science, trusting the medical field. Like, screw those people, man. They're a bunch of scammers and scumbags. There, I said it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not afraid to say it. And most of
Yeah.
them, like, if you want to really get an inside look at medicine, modern medicine, why don't you read this book called Confessions of like a Medical Heretic? Just search for that. And it's one of the doctors, one of the MDs, giving all of it away, everything. How they're basically enslaved by their debts, and how they're put into those debts on purpose through medical school and all this bullshit where
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
a bunch of BS for like 8 years, and then when you come out, if you don't prescribe the little pills that they have in the book, there's like a symptom and a pill across from it. A symptom, a pill, a symptom, a pill. And if you don't prescribe it, guess what? They take away your license, they ban you, and guess what? You still got 200K in medical debts, in medical school debts, and you can't pay it, and you go bankrupt, and you have a family to feed, and that's how they got them. That's how the Matrix gets them. So what do you think? You think that doctor is going to tell you to not take the pill and put his license at risk? He has like 270K in medical school debt that he needs to pay off. He's like a little slave, chained to that desk, and with a book from the Rockefeller Foundation on his desk. That's also chained to his wrist. Yeah. As soon as I figured out, one guy, when I was going through my whole back issues, he wanted to do spinal fusion on me. Spinal fusion. If you know what that is, that's when they take out one of your spinal cord like pieces, and they fuse it together so you can't bend. And then when you start to bend, you lose flexibility and you start having other problems, so they give you more surgeries. And the guy that was doing that, he was sitting there, he had like a gold Rolex on, he had a Hermes belt, he had like Prada shoes. And I'm like looking, I'm like, wait a second, am I getting hustled here? Am I getting scammed right now? I'm like, screw you, guy. And I left, And I was like, you know what? I think I'll take it from here. Like, forget you. Yeah. It's just terrible.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play this because they'll it's a video I did, but they'll try to do like a copyright on my own video. It's weird. But so I'm not gonna play the audio or play much of this, but watch this. I put this in the chat there, where I think this was from almost 10 years ago when I recorded this. This is young, fresh Spira, probably fasting at this point. But yeah, I mean, but this is just diabolical. I mean, this shows you they had this huge, and this is for this Advair. I don't know if that even still exists. But it's this stuff that's supposed to be for asthma or whatever. But they literally had this big, like, it's like a big rock concert, this rock concert atmosphere with all these executives and doctors, and they're literally like just they turn it into this game show type of thing where it's like, hey, if you sell this much, you do this much, you can. And they were talking about all the residuals that you get for being a pusher. The real the pusher man.
Drug pushers. That's what they are.
Drug
scumbags and drug pushers.
And when all this, none of this stuff, this is they had this doctor is talking about this. This is going to be the first. What was the terminology they use? Some kind of like the first line product to deal with it. It's just like, man.
First line product to put you in the ground.
Yeah.
The second line gets it done. We start
these
you on the
guys
first line.
like, yeah, you see these, we're programmed to like, you're supposed to respect and bow. Like I say, it's the doctors are the modern day Catholic priest. So you're supposed to bow, genuflect, kiss the ring, avert your eyes, and just whatever they do, whatever they tell you to do without question.
Yeah.
And someone that looks like me, that has my skin color, that has my hairstyle, it has a little, don't listen to them. That's
where's your diploma, Spira?
Yeah. It's like, well, I do, and I have them over there. We're like, well, don't worry about that. It's like you don't even it's just but that's all part of the programming. And so
I mean, and look how all these doctors look. You don't
yeah,
have to even listen to what they say. Look how they look, their appearance. They're all freaking like they look sick, man. They look pale. They're all overweight. They look like they're in the death's door. Because I read some statistics that like the biggest percentage of death are from doctors. Obesity is like sky high because a lot of them drink their own Kool-Aid. A lot of them like take their own drugs. They follow their own fake advice on health. And they face the consequences. And they look terrible. So like every time I go there, there's a guy sitting there. He's pale, overweight, looks like death. I mean, the guy looks about to fall over, and he's giving me advice on how to eat and the drugs to take and precautions. I'm like, guy, I look 100 times better than you, and I feel 100 times better than you. Like, why would I take advice from you? It's like taking advice from an obese fitness instructor, or a mechanic who has a broken down car of his own. It's like, you can't even fix your own car. Why are you giving me advice? Why don't you go fix your own car first? Why don't you fix your own body first? And then you can come and give me advice on my own body. But it doesn't matter because I have this diploma, because I graduated. I have 10 years, 15 years of practice experience. I was a resident here and there. I'm like, yeah, you got 15 years experience killing people and scamming people. Great. And 8 years in medical school just getting scammed for like $200K like an idiot. Now you're in debt and now you have to do what you're told. Or don't you? As soon as I tell them that, they're like, "Oh, damn, this guy's not in the matrix. I can't deal with this person."
You guys gotta see,
like
y'all, you guys, you keep egging me on. You're gonna get me in trouble. They're gonna take the video down because I can't stop. Because he's, we just
you're not gonna get in trouble. This guy's in trouble now with Trump administration and RFK in office. No, you're good now.
The faces, the faces.
This ain't the Biden years, okay? This ain't the Biden year. Like, we're good now. I think even like YouTube, I think took a little step back. They're like, okay.
I mean, we'll see. I mean, YouTube is still a little,
but they're not as brave as before. They're not as brave as before.
No, it's not. No, it's not as bad as it was.
These ain't those the previous 5 years, where they were kings and they were, shit. They banned my freaking account just for making one comment with no warning. My YouTube account got banned instantly.
Which for sharing one of our links.
I shared one of Professor's links. They banned my account instantly. And then when I tried to appeal, they said, no, we can't do nothing. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't get a warning? I don't get like anything? You just going to press the ban button on me? My whole YouTube account, my like 15 years of my musical playlists on YouTube Music got basically nuked. And I had no copy saved because Apple screwed me too. Basically, so I got screwed by Apple and Google. Thanks, Apple and Google, for nothing. Yeah, I'll be reaching out to YouTube again, though.
It's propaganda.
Yeah, it's just
Dr.
propaganda.
Fauci. How a boy from Brooklyn became America's doctor. It's a children's book. We're going to ingratiate the children to trust this man.
Yeah.
Trust him.
How he
put
got
on your face.
2014. I don't know if you didn't hear. Fauci got presidential pardon by Biden that goes back to 2014. Now you might want to ask a question. What did he get pardoned for if he's not even charged with a crime yet? Right? Something to think about. Like, you want to get advice from this guy that's getting pardoned by the president? Like, pardoned for what? He didn't commit any crimes, right? That's what he's saying.
Yeah, I mean,
just in case. It's a just in case pardon. Let's give him pardon just in case. Just in case things come out. And trust me, those things are going to come out because our case is on the warpath.
The presentation that I will release one day that I made. This was like the 2021 or 2022.
That was hardcore. Remember that one?
Yeah. This was This is.
I wish we had that picture of you and me together and you wearing like 10 masks or something.
Yeah. I got that somewhere.
That was crazy, man.
Yeah. So it's like choose your path wisely. All these choices all have consequences, and what our voice is saying that trust. Don't trust. Think twice before you trust government or trust the doctors. These medical, like we said, do your research. Because recently I had sent a bunch of the videos that are no longer on this channel. I had to delete like 50 videos off that they were either taken, they took like 10 of them down. And then if I wanted to keep the channel, I pretty much had to just go through and any of the videos talking about this topic, I had to take them down. But a lot of those still survive on Odyssey and Rumble. Is like they were my these backup channels I created. And I'd sent a bunch of those out to some members of the team, and they were watching it like, oh wow, yeah, that was
that's some
those
good stuff, man.
Yeah, we was into it. And I mean, it was, I had videos going through the actual ingredients of the medical procedure serum, and like let's analyze it. Like, I don't know what it is. Let's
have that.
Like, let's research it together. I'm not saying I know what this is. It's like, oh, aborted fetus. Like, what the hell? I didn't even believe that at first, and until I did the research and read it, I'm like, oh damn, that is right.
Yeah, aluminum, heavy metals, like all kinds of nastiness in there, right? But hey, you don't want to question the dogma, right? You don't want to question the theocracy, the legitimacy of the white robe priests, deploying this information to the masses. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get into the whole history of the MD medicine, right? Like how they basically banned everybody else and just dictated, oh, everything else is quackery, everything else is just fake. Yeah, let's just have one thing, pills and surgery, and that's it. Yeah, and then they use finances, money to enforce these things. That's why it's all connected. People are like, oh,
Right.
Money has nothing to do with health. Actually, it has everything to do with health, because financial freedom gives you medical freedom. See, as many people found out the hard way in the past 4 years, when they're like, oh, I don't care about money. Oh yeah, well, if you don't do this, you're gonna lose your job, and you have no money. See, and then the money matters like a lot, like everything. They're like, oh, I can't not do this because they're gonna take my job, and then I'm gonna be homeless on the street, and my kids are not gonna get fed. I can't pay my rent. I can't do my car payment, right? And that's how they got him. And they're like, gotcha. And then the Matrix says, ah, we gotcha. Yeah, you thought you were free, but you're just a slave, and we have the triggers, and we got the financial leash on your neck. And as soon as you step out of line, we're gonna pull that leash real hard and step on your neck with our big hobnailed boot. Like, which is exactly what happened to a lot of people. Like a lot of people from my mother's work, they got fired. They refused to take the shot, and they were fired the same day. People that worked there for 20, 25 years with no warning, no nothing. They were like, pack up your shit, take your box, and get the hell out. They had security escort them out. These women were crying while they're walking out of their job. Crying. Like full-on grown women, 40, 50, 60 years old, that worked there for like 20 years. Just got fired on the spot. They're like, oh yeah? You don't want to do what the doctors tell you? You're fired. Get the hell out. Good luck finding a job in this. Remember, it was a tough time for everybody. And a lot of people did it, and then they had issues, big issues, which are now coming out, and now it's all a big scandal. Like now it's like being taken off the shelves. Now there's going to be some lawsuits coming in.
Well, but because most people have moved on, they have forgotten about it. The happy slavery has come back. They're like, oh, my movie theater is back open, and the schools are back open. Yay! Or we don't have to do masks. Yay! Thank you, government. Like literally, thank you for not. I don't have to wear a mask anymore. Thank you. It's like that type of attitude, and you can't.
Yeah, that's a trap. That's the trap.
Yeah, that's the trap. And
that's the trap. You can't be trapped. You can't practice, Mucusless Diet healing system to the fullest extent while being under the financial control of like a job, a boss, the government telling you what to do. And then they try to say, oh, we didn't force anybody to take it. We didn't make you take it. What do you mean? You threatened my job. You told me you're gonna fire my ass if I don't take it. And then after I took it, you're like, oh, you got it all wrong. What do you say anything like that? What do you mean? Yeah, well, they did mean it, and I know people that did get fired. And then one woman actually sued the workplace, and she got reinstated with back pay and damages. And the people who folded, now they're having problems. And when they go and say, oh, I have problems, they're like, oh, that's too bad. I'm sorry. You're just making it up. That's all in your head. That's all it is. I'm sorry. We can't do nothing for you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I remember that meme. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I love you. Yeah, just just take it. Yeah, remember those videos when they were like literally forcing people to
Well,
do it?
that's what this is. This is the
Yeah. Oh yeah.
infamous.
That's the link I got banned
This
for.
is the
This
link
is
that
this is the
that
link that my YouTube
yeah.
account got banned for
So
instantly.
we're gonna test it. Just even showing this, we'll test
Nah,
YouTube.
it's good now.
Yeah,
They're defanged. They don't have the balls to do it now. Back then though with Biden, man, they were like empowered 120%. You
yeah.
know, they banned my ass like this within 30 seconds. I think I posted it and they deleted the comment instantly. Like right away. I saw it. Yeah, well, yeah, because I posted that. Things you can't
Right,
deny. You
right.
know?
Yeah, I mean, there's this post has over
Scumbag. Screw
120
you.
case studies. Over 120 case studies.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking, and this was posted 20 December 8th, 2021. So we had a
Yeah.
whole year of the
All
nonsense,
year.
and this was my report. And
Yeah. Like
oh,
videos of people dying.
video after
Literally.
video all around the world. There's no way to coordinate this. You can't fake this. It's prior to all this AI and stuff. It's like, no,
Yeah.
this,
No AI.
yeah, no AI.
Like phone videos, people filming on their phones and putting it in Telegram. And I would get
Yeah,
it and I'll send it over, professor, and he would
yeah,
compile it into the thing. You know, because like I was getting access to all the underground like Telegram channels, basically. And I was collecting this thing. I was doing my own research. Because, you know, in the beginning I got scared too. I'm like, oh, maybe this is legit. Maybe it's some kind of bioweapon and you know, like it's serious. And then I was like, oh, okay, it's a psyop. It's all bullshit, you know. And this is the real weapon right here. You know, the whole point of this psyop campaign, military grade psyop campaign, was to get you to put in your arm. That's it. That's all that was. Remember, they were offering joints. They were offering lottery tickets. They were offering money. They were offering like in Germany, they were
yeah,
offering
yeah,
hookers,
yeah, yeah,
hookers
yeah,
to get it.
yeah.
You go to a brothel, you get a shot, and you can go bang for 30 minutes with a hooker, legal hooker. Like
Right.
it was terrible. They were trying everything they could, you know. Yeah, it was the biggest, I think, you know, propaganda campaign in the history of like humankind. You know, like
Yeah.
so whoever didn't fall for that, you know, I salute you. Like it was the real pressure. I mean, shit. When I lived in New York in the belly of the beast. I had grandmas push me out of a freaking elevator for not wearing a mask, just so you understand, like where I'm coming from. Literally,
Yeah.
like I would come in, they'd be like, "You don't have your mask on. Get the hell out of the elevator." This little grandma would start pushing me in the chest. She was about to swing on me. This like 90-year-old grandma.
Hmm.
I was like, all right,
Right.
calm down. I'm gonna step out. I'm not gonna fight a grandma in New York. I'm not retarded. You know, like I don't hit women.
Right. Right.
I'm not a coward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's the
yeah,
dude
there you
talk
go.
about
Yeah.
the
Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
brothel offers free sex session to
Yeah.
patrons who get
Yeah.
the
The thing.
special thing, the
Yeah.
procedure.
Yeah. This guy's all happy. He's like, look, I got it and I got laid for
Yeah, I
free.
remember seeing that. Yeah, yeah.
Look at
He's like,
me. I'm so happy. I'm like, oh, guy, you paid the big price, man.
oh man, I mean, just the visual of this. It's like you got you
You're gonna
got the
pay for that
host sitting
later.
there, and then he's just like, hell yeah, like this.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
Fast forward a year later, he's
Yeah,
not
fast
saying hell
forward a
yeah.
year later.
Uh-huh. He's like, God damn. Did I just get V8? Yep. Congratulations. You're now a proud recipient of V8s.
Yeah, I mean, this
Oh man.
whole
Yeah.
I lost so much respect for humanity over the past 4 years. Just
Yeah.
I
Goddamn
thought that
sheeple.
people would put up a little more of a fight, a little more that there was a little more spirit there. But man, I was proven wrong. Man, there was very little of anything, and people like me, our voices were
Yeah. Censored,
quiet,
banned, threatened,
censored,
or
banned, threatened. Yeah, I mean, I had my website was hacked
yeah.
as soon as that post that I was showing you this. As soon as I put this up, because we did this all behind the scenes. Through Telegram, we did a big Telegram campaign, and we had got like 40,000-50,000 views, which is a lot for my website in a few days of people going and looking at this.
It went viral. I mean, that.
Yeah, it went viral without the help of no Facebook, no YouTube. But you tried to post it up YouTube, that didn't work. So we was all underground, and
They
I
did
mean,
not like that. They were like, damn, these people
yeah,
are putting out like facts. and videos and things that are like convincing. Yeah, look at this. I mean, and then there's some videos of people dying while other people are standing in line
Yeah.
to get it.
Yeah. Well, that one's on here somewhere.
Yeah, they're literally
That's
carrying
my
them
favorite one.
out, like dead on the stretcher past the line of people getting the shot.
Right.
And I'm like, seriously, you just gonna keep standing there? If that was me, I would just run. I'd be like, whoa, wait a second. Like this guy went in and how they're rolling him out. I better get the hell out of here. And they're like, oh man, what happened there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, it's this one.
Yeah, that's the one. Look at them. Look at they're all standing in line. And look, a happy recipient being rolled out.
Yeah.
Like that's it. I mean, come on.
And people, not only do they stay in line, more people get in line.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit, this is a military grade
And this
psyop.
this is what we talking about. Like it's worse than sheep. Because we always use that like sheep and sheep.
Sheep will run away if they see a wolf. Like
yeah. Exactly.
Like,
it's like this is
I'm out of here.
This is like androids. This aren't
they're
even
still standing there. Look, and they're still standing 6 feet
yeah,
apart. Look,
yeah. I mean that guy got in line. It's like,
oh man, this is some good stuff. He sees the guy being rolled out. It's like, this is some good stuff.
Yeah. She looks over like, oh,
look, she looks and gets in line. Great.
And she's thinking about leaving, and then she's like, well, he gets in line. She's like,
look, another guy gets in line.
I guess I'll stay.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it, man. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you people like deserve it. Like, seriously. If you're that dumb, maybe the depopulation people have a point. Like we should clean the pool a little bit from those people. I mean, I know it's like callous and wrong to say this, but I mean, I kind of see their point, right? Yeah, like look at these people. Yeah, remember that like Asian lady that was like cooking all of a sudden? She's like, crack. Live on Instagram.
Yeah. Well, that's on here somewhere.
Yeah, that was like hardcore, man. Yeah, like see, like that. Boom! Look at this guy, just dead right there. Like literally, just got the shot, dead. Yeah, right there. That's the one.
I'm not gonna show that.
Yeah, don't show that. Yeah, that's a little graphic. We don't want to scare people, but yeah, let me put it this way: she didn't make it. Okay, just spoiler alert. Yeah, it was terrible, man. When I started seeing those things, I'm like, and then my whole family tried to like get me to take it. And I was like, over my goddamn dead body. Like, you would have to like subdue me and do me, and then I'll go on the rampage, probably. Like, like I'll take everybody with me. But nah. I'm glad that's over, at least.
Yeah, I mean, but people are still doing it. Yeah, I mean, people are still getting.
Yeah, they're still doing it. Yeah, they're still around. They're still promoting this crap.
Like you say, okay, listen. Oh yeah. Listen to the science. There's enough evidence now. But nah, man. But like I said, that just really put a nasty taste in my mouth, just with the way people just really, after all this evidence, and we tried really hard to get this out to people to warn whoever could be warned. And nobody took us seriously. It's like they're just like, whatever.
Yeah, those people, conspiracy theorists, Yeah, but this really drove home to me the importance of financial freedom.
Yeah.
Once I saw the leverage, the little control levers that they use to get you to give up your bodily autonomy, to get you to put things in your body that you don't want in your body. I was like, man, the work I'm doing with decentralized finance, that's even more important now than ever before, to have another external passive source of income. Like even if you have a job, 2 jobs, what if this happens again? And they'll pass down these mandates, and they're gonna make you do it. Doesn't, maybe not this, maybe another type of shot, another type of false flag.
It's always gonna be something, and so that's why it's so important. Get your finances together, get your mind together, get your plans together.
Yeah.
So that because you want to, in this era, man, you want to be flexible. You want to be able to.
You gotta have options, man.
You gotta have options. You
gotta have many options.
If you need to move, you gotta move. If you gotta we need to get out of here. Let's go over. Oh, there's a fire up the street. Let me get out of here. There's a hurricane. Let me get out of here. You gotta be nimble.
Yeah. You can downsize your lifestyle too.
Yeah.
Let's say you got you're used to living on $2,000-$3,000 a month, right? But you have $600-$700 in passive income coming in every month. Well, guess what? You can move to Thailand and you can live on that. Yeah, it's not going to be fancy villas and butlers and servants, but you can get a nice little room for 200-300 bucks, and you can get fruits, which are basically like dirt cheap in Thailand, and you can get water, and you can survive at 700 bucks,
Right.
while looking for other ways to make money, because now you have all this time. If you're not working at a job and the 700 bucks is completely passive, right? It takes you 15 minutes a week. Guess what? You can use that time to scheme and figure out another way to make money, and another way
Right.
to make money, and another way to make money. That's what I had to do. When I got sick, I lost almost all of my money. Because basically, when you have no health, you have no wealth. That's what happened to me. All the scammers took advantage and just stole all my shit. It's a good thing I had all this crypto squirreled away. I had DeFi like sources of passive income, and that helped me out. Then I figured out how to make a business. Then, I started educating myself, getting another source of income, active source of income, putting that active source of income into a passive source of income. And now that's starting to sustain me. And that's what you got to do. You got to be, like Festa says, you got to be nimble. You got to have options, and you do got to educate yourself, And that's exactly what I'm doing on this workshop on Tuesday. I'm going to educate you on exactly how to get a passive source of income in decentralized finance, not some theoretical crap that's like, oh, believe in yourself, feel free. No, I'm going to tell you step by step how to do it. Step 1, step 2, step 3, and all you got to do is do it. And it's free. Here you go. Like, just take it and do it. You don't have to listen to me. I mean, like thousands, tens of thousands of people are doing this. It's not like I'm, proposing some kind of like scheme that nobody ever heard of. Like, no, this is legit. And so many people are making money with this, Yeah, well, that's my little rant. You just got to have
Mhm.
financial freedom and physical freedom. Because,
Yeah.
if your health is not on point, then the money doesn't matter. I learned that the hard way. Yeah, I got the money, then I went to a doctor to restore my health. Scammers. They almost killed me, these bastards, And then
Right.
I had to lose almost all my money while I was restoring my health. Then I restored my health, and then I started restoring my wealth. So right now, I got both on point. But MDHS is always the first priority for me right now. Always. My health is number one at all points. Even though I had some business partners like, oh, you spend too much time practicing this, doing your animals. Then I'm like, screw you, guy. No, I'm going to put this first. I'm going to put me first, because then I'm more effective at making money. See how that works? It's like sharpening your axe. Some people just
Right.
like bang against a tree with a dull axe and they didn't get shit done. Meanwhile, I'm gonna, for 5 years, sharpen me, the axe, and then I'm gonna just chop the tree down in one swing and make all that money right away. And I'm gonna use that money to do what? To take my health to the next level, to even
Right.
higher level. Because my goal is not to make money. My goal is to make basically a place where we can heal people, to restore the arid sanitarium, to make an island where we can be free, we can heal people, and we wouldn't need money at all. But that's a whole other podcast and a whole other
Yeah.
conversation. I don't want to get too much into
Yeah.
those weeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's my mission in life. It's not making money and doing business and driving Lambos and living the Bilzerian lifestyle and the Kim Kardashian. Like, I don't care about any of that shit. I've been rich. I made millions of dollars like in my career. I've been there, and I did not find happiness. I made millions of dollars, and I was unhappiest I've ever been. I've been the sickest I've ever freaking been. I almost died with millions of dollars in my bank account. And now it's that, and that's not the goal here. The goal
Right.
is complete financial and physiological freedom and serving other people and helping them do the same. That is my mission in life, a higher purpose than myself. And that actually brings you a lot of satisfaction, fulfillment, and happiness, not like collecting. Oh, look at me. I got 3 million in my bank account. I got 10 million. I got a zillion. I know a lot of people who like billionaires and they're still not happy. They hate their freaking
Mhm.
life. They're sad, pathetic, like piece of shit, because all they care about is themselves, and that gives them nothing. And they end up alone, broke, just counting their little money. Oh, look at me. I got a bigger yacht than this guy. Psh, yeah, good luck with that. Yeah. And they still get, ass cancer 10 years later, and they die, and the money just goes to waste. They just gets like passed down to their whatever children, and they just snort it up their nose and overdose, and that's it. That gives them nothing. That's
Yeah.
that's usually the story. Sorry, I've been around. I've seen it all.
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
sharing it with you guys and
The
gals.
truth.
That's
Gotta
the
be,
truth. Like
be
I said, I'm,
real.
I'm gonna spit the truth from this matrix over here in New York City. Like I said this in the beginning, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm bringing.
Yeah, the belly of the beast up there. I'll
The
let you
belly,
do
I'm in
that.
the belly of the beast, and well, hopefully I'll be out of here soon. But for now it's okay. I'm fine. I'm autonomous. I got my health, I got my wealth, I got my friends, I got my MDHS community, behind me. Like, so I'm good for now. And eventually, like I said, we're going to get our own land. We're going to get our own island. We're going to get all the like-minded people there. We're going to grow our own food, make our own electricity. We're going to have our own laws, our own hospitals. Well, hospitals, you know what I'm saying? Not the
Yeah.
hospitals Professor Spira was talking about. We're going to have sanatoriums like Arid had. And trust me, regular people will pay us a lot of money to get healed. Just like Arid got paid for 14 years in Ascona, Switzerland to heal all these people. Why do you think they took him
Yeah.
out? I mean, there, I said it. They took him out because he was spitting the truth like me. But it ain't gonna be that easy to take me out. I tell you that. I got plans, which
Yeah.
I'm not gonna talk about
You're
here.
not
But
gonna,
yeah,
yeah.
we're scheming and planning. Trust me. And if you want to be in those plans, if you want to be participating, you got to join the mucus-free community. You got to sign up for that membership. So that way you're in our platforms, you're in our inner circle, because that's what we're sharing all those plans. That's what we're talking about, all those things. We're not going to talk about that here for obvious freaking reasons, because this is going on YouTube, this is going on Google, this is going everywhere,
Right.
the
Yeah.
do no evil corporations. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
say that extremely sarcastically,
Right.
Nah, you got to join the membership because we created that for you all, not for us, because we're already like sharing those plans, on the team. But we want to take all of you guys with us and gals,
Yeah.
into this journey. And trust me, it's gonna be a wild one. Once all this comes out, once all the truth comes out, I think people are gonna flock to this. If you think keto is big, MTHS is gonna be 1,000
Oh yeah.
times that. A
Yeah. This
thousand
is
times. It's gonna be gigantic. You don't even know, like the because the things we're learning, like in my business, I'm learning how to market properly. And guess what? Once I master all these things, I'm bringing that right to the mucus-free research development team and to this project, and I'm applying all of that. And so is Professor Spira, yeah, it's inevitable. It's just a matter of time. So
yeah.
if you
Yeah.
don't want to get left behind, join the membership, stay tuned, get involved,
Yeah.
help out,
Sign up for Tuesday. Just put the link
sign
in
up for
there
the
again.
workshop so you get all the financial freedom tools and techniques that I'm going to be sharing. See, and that way you get everything. You get the community, the health, and the wealth techniques, because you need all of that. This is a rough world out there, man. You need every tool, you need every advantage that you can get to survive what's coming, because not everybody's going to make it. Like Professor always says, not
Mhm.
everybody's going to make it. If you only one of those people that wants to make it, you got to do all these things, and you have to practice those things. Don't just like take my information, take Fred's information, and just be like, oh, okay, that's very interesting. No. You gotta apply it. If you don't apply it, it will not work for you. That's just the truth. Once again, you gotta apply it. Because I used to read every kind of book. Hundreds of
Mm.
books a year. I read them all. Didn't do jack shit. And guess what? I got freaking destroyed. Lost millions of dollars. Got scammed by everybody, by doctors, by friends, by business partners. Because I was dumb. My brain was full of pus and mucus. Well, it ain't full of pus and mucus now, and I can see things extremely clearly now, and like I know exactly where I'm going. I know exactly what my mission is. I know exactly what I need to do. And guess what? I'm doing it. I'm not just like talking about it on podcasts. No, like you
Right.
got to do that too. You got to get the information out, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
And trust me, there's other things that I'm learning outside, how to like work with energy and, how to harness your sexual energy and all these things, which I'll ancillary practice, which I'll be bringing also, Professor, to the community, because that's powerful too, as to help out. You need every advantage that you can get, every little edge that you can get, you got to take it. So that's it. That's my
Yeah.
little rant
Yeah.
for the day.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the benefit of what they say. You end up being like the five people you spend the most time around, or whatever the little cliche is.
That's so true,
But
though.
yeah, you gotta be plugged in. It's like there's a lot of people that it's like, well, I got the book, but it's like, okay, it's like,
Right.
okay, I read the book. It's all right. Are you plugging in? Because that's the missing link is plugging in, and getting your questions answered. And I'll put the link to the membership in there since we talking about it, Mucus-free Life membership. And this is because we're taking this membership to this is the whole nother level. And this is, like I said, this is the space where I put my time and energy into in there with people that are serious, with people that are ready to really heal themselves and go down this path, because this is not always easy. But a lot of the stuff that makes it not easy is the noise, is all the people that don't know what they're talking about. And that's just noise, but you got to learn how to tune it out, because or it'll start affecting you emotionally. And that's what you can't have that if you want to heal and you want to be successful. And so, but that's why the community is so important, because you get to plug into the energy, learn how to just not even all the noise, all the nonsense. You just like, okay, not even have to worry about that.
Yeah, you got to have your own source of information, and in this day and age, that's super important, because we're all overloaded with information coming in from every goddamn, you know, place, like, and 98% of it is all misinformation, like they were always spouting about, it's fake information. That's how they confuse you, because right now you can't block things. Well, they try to block and censor, but most of it, they just have so much information that you can't sift through the garbage.
Yeah, it's like the combination of having so much information and the people being
and censoring the right information.
Yeah, censoring the right information,
yeah.
having enough people be dumbed down and docile and just kind of bought into the whatever the status quo is. And so people can't, because they're not taught to think for themselves. They're not taught to exist outside the matrix. Like we're saying, it's like, just be a good boy and girl, be a good little slave, be a good worker, just get your 401k, do all the stuff you're taught you're supposed to do, and everything will be good. And then when it's not good, people are like, wait a minute, I thought that what happened? It's like, but that's where we say you have to take radical accountability, radical ownership in yourself, in your health. And for some people that can be scary, because people it's like people feel like if you put your onus on to some doctor or some outside entity that's supposed to take care of you, it's like this victim thing. People get into this victim mentality, and where it's like, oh, the government's got to get better and you got to do this, and
they lied to me.
We're gonna do this, and it's like, no,
right.
You gotta take full responsibility for all aspects of your life, body, mind, and spirit. It's up to you. And that's what people don't like. They don't want to take responsibility. But with the responsibility comes the benefits, comes the spoils of fearlessness, not being scared of like, oh, well, they told me I got to do this and I should do that. It's like, what Brother Ed says. Yeah, if you don't know how your body operates, you can be told anything. You don't know how the financial system operates, you can be told anything. You can be convinced that debt is real, that it's collected legally when it's not. But you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. And so that's what we're saying is the path of liberation will teach you all it is. But you got to plug in and you got to take action. It's like, it's not just going to happen. You have to actively take action to free yourself and to educate yourself. I'm just a big education person, but learning, reading, studying, asking questions to the right people, and elevate your consciousness, elevate your learn through experiences, travel to different places, see how different people operate and live. Like go see, go to spend some time at a hospice and a hospital, see how these people are living, see the kind of food that they're eating, see the kind of care that's happening.
Right there. Just walk by a nursing home, when they roll them out, like, for a couple hours to get some sun.
Yeah.
That's my biggest motivation. Every time I was like thinking of falling off the wagon, I would just walk by, go on boardwalk, walk by like a nursing home, and I just look at that and I'm like, okay, I'm good. Like, I'm done. Where are my fruits at? Let me get my enema rolling here, like, like, do you really want to be, shitting yourself, in a diaper, that at 7 years old in some nursing home and getting slapped around by an orderly and then getting robbed by the 5 whatever year look back thing, and then just dumped on some poor house? Yeah, if you don't want that, then you better get your ass in gear, Yeah, look at this. And the whole fire thing, that's crazy.
I rest my case. I mean, there was I just looked this up real quick, but there was some I mean, just some crazy footage of they had a whole line of people just that are bedridden people that they had to take out of the nursing facility, and they're just on the corner, just in their beds, just they got them kind of covered up, and they're just sitting there, and it's just
totally helpless, like totally dependent.
This
completely dependent, like no
I
freedom.
mean, to me, it's like you should be fighting with every fiber of your being to avoid that. To own, to create your reality, to be the master of your domain. It's like this is chaos. This is straight chaos that is preventable, because all of this whole thing was preventable here. I mean, you look into it, but it's just,
all these fires, the houses burned down, but the trees around, they're not burned at all. How interesting,
Yeah, well, that's like a whole other topic.
Yeah, that's another rabbit hole. You might want to, research that little piece of information, little tidbit that I just dropped there.
But my thing is like this is the real. Why they even do that? Like, stay there. They're like this is all you need for this shot. But they're like, well, let's look at the fire. It's like, we know the fire's back there. Let's see that. See, look at this. I mean, this is what the real reality is about. Because most people, they're on these damn screens all the time with TVs and computers and phones and stuff, and they are tuned into a frequency that is just opposed to reality. They're plugged into the whoever, I don't know who's popular. We always say Kardashian.
I don't even watch TV anymore.
That's like dates us. That's when so I don't know, whoever's popular these days, but that's what they're plugged into, is that whole thing. And so it's like they're in this suspended animation where it's like this isn't even real to them. It's like it's not real until it's real, until it happens to you, or they come for you. And so we're saying this is it's a matter of life and death. Literally, it's literally a matter of life and death. Get yourself together physiologically, get financially, spiritually, get yourself together, period.
Yeah. You got to take action. You got to get your ass in gear, make it happen. Otherwise, that might be you they're rolling in next, and then you're like, damn, what happened? I had all these dreams. I had all these hopes. I had all these plans. And instead, I'm here now in this nursing home getting slapped in the face by an orderly and getting fed some slop, basically some cheap slop. And all my money is gone, and they just took all of it. And you're like, damn, now you really can't do anything. It's like everything in life. You got to take preventive measures first before that happens, because then it's gonna be too late. A lot of people.
I mean, they even shadow ban this. There's no. Okay, look at because these numbers don't make any sense. This channel has 1.19 million subscribers. It's a mainstream news, Fox.
Yeah,
this
Fox.
video only has 5.4 thousand views.
Yeah, that's nothing.
What? Like, I mean, this is good. I'm not one to praise the media that often, but this is some decent footage.
People watch things like that.
Real stuff that was happening. Real tragedy, and that's actually the job of an actual journalist. They're supposed to always get this level of content, and they shadow ban this. This has been up for 2 months, and this got shadow banned to the point where this only got 5.4 thousand views. That is absolutely insane.
They don't want to put that glitch in the matrix, to distract you from your little, happy slave life. Like, oh, I don't want to see some people getting rolled around from a nursing home and things burning down. Let me just watch some Kardashian episode. That's happy times. Yeah, let me watch some food, whatever, one of those food shows.
The food. Show. Yeah. Cooking with Bobby.
Man
Bobby
versus
Flay.
Food. Remember that one?
Yeah, man versus food.
Where the guy would do like food challenges and just stuff himself with all kinds of extreme shit, like 10 pounds of freaking like burritos or something at one time. See, that is not going to be shadow banned. I guarantee you. That's going to get all the views in the world. of a guy killing himself slowly live on TV with pus and mucus. That's always great TV. Or like, I'm gonna eat the hottest burrito in the world. Check it out. And I'm gonna eat 10 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
2.5 million views.
Yeah, there you go. I rest my case. I rest my case.
183,000 views.
Yeah,
15 million views.
Man, I used to watch that show just out of morbid curiosity. I just wanted to see the guy, like, if he can do it. Like, literally, I was just like, can he do it?
Well, no, I did. I used to there was a period when I would actually watch this while I was fasting.
Yeah, same. Like eating with your eyes and whatever.
Yeah, where I'm just kind of like, man, I'm like, so far outside of this reality.
Yeah. He had some disgusting things in that show, like real disgusting things. Yeah, look at this guy. I mean, and this is what people like to watch. I mean, it's like a guy killing himself slowly.
Yeah.
Like, because like this is not even like regular pus and mucus eating. That's like extreme pus and mucus eating, competitive pus and mucus eating.
Right.
Like Joey Chestnut eating like 79 hot dogs in one sitting. Like that's so insane, man. Like, I can't believe a human being can even do that. Like, can you imagine putting in 80 hot dogs and 2 buns per hot dog in your stomach in like 2.3 minutes? Like, I didn't think that was even physically possible, but apparently I was proven wrong. And then they all applaud when he does that. They're like, "Oh my God, Joey, you're the man!" Like, what?
Yeah. No, that announcer gets on my damn nerves because he's just like,
look at Joey go.
He's like, Joey, this man is the greatest human being that has ever lived on this planet.
This man is a national treasure.
Yeah, he's a national treasure.
National treasure? What? No, he's not. Elon Musk is a national treasure, okay? Like, Trump is a national treasure.
And then what happens too is people will be like, well, this guy, he ate all that stuff and he's okay.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, well, I ain't heard from him in a while. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know I don't know how he is. Maybe,
Joey
definitely has aged faster than he needed to, than he otherwise would have.
It's a wacko world out there, man. Bizarre world. That's what that is. Where this is celebrated, like this kind of behavior, this kind of thing. Like, look at this guy. He's dressed like a ninja, like he's a samurai. He's like attacking this dishes, and he's doing all this quests and shit. Yeah, quest to kill yourself, fast track. Yeah. Like, what about that avocado Nikocado? What the hell is his name?
Nikocado, avocado. Yeah,
he went from being like a vegan to being like a mukbang. Mukbang.
Yeah,
That's right. I didn't watch this nasty. Yeah.
Well, I did that video on that where I did. Yeah, I did my little 2 cents on him.
Yeah, it's just all tragedy of nutrition, man. That's what all this is. I mean, and you watch these people and they're just ignorant. They just don't know. They know not what they do. Like, they really don't. They think it's just all fun and games. Yeah, it's all fun and games until you get ass cancer. Then it's not funny anymore. Then they're like, oh no, now I got to put some mustard gas in me. AKA chemotherapy, because chemotherapy is mustard gas. You could actually Google that. And then it'll tell you. That is a fact. That is not my opinion. That is a fact.
Yeah,
you can look that up. They figured out a way to put mustard gas into people and make even more profits on it.
Mm-hmm.
A drug, a gas that's a biochemical weapon that's been forbidden by rules of war since World War I.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they figured out how to put it into sick people's arms.
Yeah.
Like, how crazy is that, man? When I learned about it, I was like, no way is this true. Like, no way. This got to be fake. I did my research. It is goddamn true. It's damn mustard gas produced by the same company that produced mustard gas in World War I.
Yeah.
I think it's Bayer or something, or one of those companies, one of those German companies.
Mm-hmm.
So these Germans are still killing people and making bank. They're getting like $5,000 an injection. And you need like 10 injections. That's $50K per customer. Very unhappy customer, I would say.
Yeah, because and it's the same thing. And I've watched that myself with somebody that was really young. It was a young guy that grew up, a neighbor, and they had him. They literally, it's like they they bleed you dry while you're
Oh
just
yeah.
you're sick, but they take every dime from you, and after long enough, then it's typical for people to not make it, to pass away.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
that's exactly what happened to my mom's friend, you know. They basically, like, I offered her my services, to put her on the right path, to, do some protocols, some fasting, some, herbs and vegetables and leafy greens and fruits. And instead she went, and they even told her that, she can't do chemotherapy because her case was too, like, long gone. Right. And then, so she was like going to do my thing. At least that would give her like a 50-50 chance. She had like a stage 4. But then they called her up. They're like, oh, we have an experimental treatment you can try. So she went there, got the experimental treatment, and then they told her, oh, sorry, it didn't work out. Here's a morphine drip. Go home and die. And that's it. Within 2 months, she was gone. That's what happened. She listened to them and she trusted them and not me. Because guess what? I don't have a white coat and I don't have a freaking diploma behind my back. Yeah, well, and then I went visit her. She was there, drinking some whiskey and eating ice cream and, taking her morphine basically because she had her last 2 months. They made it easy for her, like home hospice type of scenario,
right.
Yeah, it was really sad because, I like this woman. I wanted to save her, but she didn't even give me a chance. She gave them a chance. And obviously they got as much money as they could out of her. And they're just like, oh, sorry, it didn't work out. Here's some morphine, go home and die. That's it. Good luck, Yeah, it was really sad, which was a really predictable outcome. I told her that's going to happen. She didn't believe me. And that's exactly what happened. And that was my mother's best friend, like her only friend that she had. And that's what I was trying so hard to save her. But like, you can't save everybody, unfortunately. Some
Right.
people are just too deep in the matrix, It's like they say in that movie, some people are so deeply entrenched in the matrix, they will fight you, to stay in the matrix and get abused and get killed and get enslaved. They will fight for their
Well,
enslavement.
and that's what I'm saying. The happy slaves, the
Happy
people that are
slaves.
they're
They're
happy.
like, no way, man. I'm gonna fight for this. Like, you're wrong. I'm gonna do this. It's like a Stockholm syndrome. They love their freaking captors. They love
Exactly.
their abusers. Like, who are you loving? These people are trying to kill you, literally, not metaphorically, literally, and you're defending them. These scumbags. It's terrible. Yeah. But it's like kind of like Cassandra, when she was she had like the gift of foresight in the story of Troy, and she was trying. She knew that like the horse had the goddamn Greeks in there, and they were gonna like come out at night and slaughter everybody. And she was like, "Look, there are Greeks in that horse. Don't bring it into the city." And they're like, "You crazy? You're an insane person. Get out of here. The Greeks are gone. The horse is a gift from the gods. Come on, roll it in there. Roll it in there." And guess what happened? And then, obviously the Greeks came out that night, slaughtered everybody, including Cassandra. I think she got raped or enslaved or whatever. And, yeah, she was right, but who cares? Like that foresight didn't do much for Troy, right? Because he got burned the hell down and pillaged and whatever. Yeah, sometimes you feel like that, like Cassandra, when you're like trying to tell people, like do this, do Mucusless Diet healing system. Put your money in DeFi to get passive income. Get ahead of this thing before they make you take a shot, before they fire you and you're like, broke and destitute and on the street, and then you're scrambling, and then it's too late to do these things, because like
Right.
that's a hard situation. And they don't listen, and then exactly what you warn them about, it happens exactly
Yeah.
like you told them. And then those people are even pissed at you. They're like, man, what do you think? You're like the smart guy? What are you now, like, oh, good thing it happened? You're like gloating and shit that your predictions came true. I'm like, no, I'm not gloating. I feel sorry for you that I warned your ass. You didn't listen to me, and now exactly what I warned you about, it's happening. Like I warned a lot of people, don't take the shot. They told me I'm insane. They told me I'm stupid. That I'm a conspiracy theorist. And guess what? It happened. I'm not gloating about it. I'm not happy about it. These are my
Right.
friends. These are my relatives. I love them. Like, I'm not happy that they're sick. I'm not happy that their immune system is shot. Obviously, I'm not like evil. I didn't want them to be like that. But those are the facts. That's what happened. And now they're finding out for themselves. Now this all coming out that it's all a bunch of crap and some bullshit, some bioweapon garbage. Experimental crap that was never even tested properly. Now they're facing the hard consequences of their decisions, and that fucking sucks. But it is what it is. What can I do now? Like, you can't take it out of your arm, right? I mean, that's it. It's in there.
Yeah. Yep. That's the
But it is what it is. We gotta keep trucking on. We gotta keep trucking to financial freedom, to the island, to the ultimate gates of Shangri-La. Of physiological liberation. That's my goal. Like I want
Yeah.
to get ultimate health, like Teresa Mitchell in Rational Fasting. That's my
Mhm.
motivational text. I read it like I think 200 times, probably more.
Mm.
I think I memorized it at this point. That's
Yeah,
how
yeah,
that's how
yeah.
much I like that text. That was my go-to. Every time I felt doubt, every time I felt like down, I would just reread that whole thing, all of it,
Mm.
like from the start. Teresa Mitchell talking about her journey, talking about
Mhm.
how she achieved this crazy, crisis, how things came out of her mouth, and then she felt this inflow of vitality. And I experienced that. I
Mhm.
experienced that on my own. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going in her footsteps. I'm doing what she's doing. And I'm gonna
Mhm.
get what the benefits that she's gonna get, you know? And yeah, it all works. It's all true. Everything she wrote is true. I've tested it on myself because I don't
Yeah.
believe anybody. I believe myself, my body, and like what I experienced myself. That's how
Yeah.
you should be. Don't trust the doctors. Don't trust me. Don't trust Professor Spira. Trust yourself. Trust your own sense. Trust your own experience. Try it for yourself. You'll be surprised. Well, not
Yeah.
that surprised because it's right there in the text.
Yeah, right, right.
like they literally like lay it out. Eric and Teresa Mitchell, they lay it out for you. So there's no
Right.
surprise.
But
Don't be
that's the
surprised if it
the
all works.
operative, but you have to do it though. You got to
Do it.
try it.
Yeah, you
You
got to
got
do it.
to take action and to get the benefit,
Yeah.
to learn, to get the knowledge, know thyself.
Yeah. Same
This
same
is
with financial peace, like you try DeFi. Don't just say right away, "Oh, it's a scam, crypto is a pyramid scheme." Like I heard all this bullshit.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fine. Why don't you take $100 and try it? Okay? And if it works, guess what? Then I guess I'm telling the truth. And if it doesn't work, you are out $100, $20, $10, whatever. Who cares? But if I'm right, you got a long method of generating passive income. That comes with all kinds of benefits.
Right.
Same thing with Mucusless Diet healing system. Try it for yourself, and you have lifelong benefits of ultimate health. Maybe even mortality, maybe even next level children. But we're not gonna get into that. The eugenics piece of MDHS. That's a whole thing on its own. The
That's
eugenics.
another
That's
how many episodes have
that's another
we've
podcast just on its own. I don't
yeah,
even want to get into those ones.
we've exposed all kinds of future episodes of
Yeah, like
and things and certain and training sessions for the membership program
yeah,
because some of that
exactly.
stuff is too hot for YouTube.
Yeah, eugenics is too hot to discuss on YouTube. I'm sorry. Like that's a membership level discussion. That's where those discussions happen.
Yeah.
If you want to get in
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
discussions, you got to join the membership. The Mucus-free
Yeah.
Life membership. That's where all that is at. The whole
Yeah.
team is on the job, and including
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's on that. Yeah, because we're building not just an island and a whole next level of finance. We're also building a whole next level of society, of like a whole social structure, right? There's also the resource based economy. That's another thing all on its own.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. That's
huge.
what I'd say. It's at which we talk. Yeah, we talked about that in the book clubs and some of the stuff
Yeah,
we've been doing. We've been bringing all that.
whole
And
concept of
so,
money, right?
yeah, just understanding
What
things
that
from
is.
foundation. And yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that's happening
So much.
behind the scenes. And so this is like we say, jump on board, connect, come Tuesday,
Yeah.
join the membership, plug in,
It's all
work
there
on
for
your
you.
physiology. It's all there. Yeah, this is the information age. So the challenge in the information age is having some guidance to get plugged in and really focused in on the most important information because there's so much of it. So what's the most important information to focus on? And then the support structure, the accountability structure, the community structure, which is so important to having success on this path. And so that's why we created the membership. We try to create these training sessions and all these resources. I mean, that's what it's all about, is just getting this information out there to the handful of people that are ready for it.
Yeah.
And but like Vadim said, the day is going to come where
It's coming.
this is going to be, because we create that line in the sand that you're either about physiological liberation and you get it and you're figuring this out and you're on board, or you're in the man versus food reality.
Yeah.
And that's the only two realities that there's going to be. because the middle ground is going to be gone. And
Take
so
the red pill, take the blue pill. That's it. That's your choice. You know,
Yeah.
you got to make a choice. Yeah.
Right.
You can't straddle that fence. Your ass is, you're just going to end up with a
Straddle
sore ass.
the barbed wire fence. You can't.
Yeah, you can't
don't
straddle
do
that.
that.
You got to choose, you know. Choose
Yep.
wisely, as they say. Like Indiana Jones. He chose poorly. I don't know when he drank from the wrong
Yeah.
goblet.
Yeah.
The
Right.
guy
Right.
just like just fell
Yeah.
apart, and the guy's like,
Yeah.
he chose poorly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of the situation here, man. If
Right.
if you choose the wrong thing, there will be very real consequences. Like
Yep.
yeah. So choose wisely. Don't choose poorly. Choose wisely,
Yep.
because
That's
that time
it.
is coming. Where
Yep.
people are waking up. That's always good to see, though. Like more people are waking up now. The
Mhm.
whole debacle with the procedure kind of galvanized people and woke people up. So even though Professor got disappointed in humankind overall, right?
Yeah.
But there was a silver lining in that
Well,
situation.
yeah. Well,
There
now,
was one.
yeah. I mean, now people have to redeem yourself.
Yeah, they lost a lot. The doctors lost a lot of trust during those 4 years.
Yeah.
And a lot
Yeah.
of people woke up to how these doctors operate. Because before, I couldn't have this conversation. But now, after this big, like, freaking debacle, now people are like, holy crap. So they played us. They scammed us. So these people are not infallible. So they are corrupt. They are pushing interests of businesses, pharmaceuticals, right?
Mhm.
And they harming our health by pushing those interests. What else is out there? See? And that's our opportunity to bring them something else that's out there. See? Before, they wouldn't even listen to us. Now people are like, holy crap, I just got screwed.
Mhm.
Like I should
Right.
listen to these people. Maybe even, try out this information. See if it works. And then when it does work, they're like, holy crap, these guys were right all along. There were Greeks in that goddamn horse. Like
Right.
the emperor is naked. Like they were right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be the guy to be like telling everybody I told you so. But if shoe fits, right? Like it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said, I don't get no pleasure from that.
Yeah, I get no pleasure from that. Like I feel sorry. I feel pity for
I
this.
mean, I showed you that document, the universal. We had the town hall, universal procedure prevention town hall that was on March 25th. It's almost the anniversary of that, isn't it? March 25th, 2020. And I predicted everything that happened. And a lot of people were in denial. I mean, most people were in denial. They literally thought that I was just like, it's Spira. He's and I was like, what are you going to do when they show up at your door with a syringe in one hand and a gun in the other?
And they have shown up in some countries. I mean, we saw
some
videos.
Countries. We got videos of that.
We got videos. Some guy was on the roof of his own house.
Yeah, the roof.
With 3 people holding him down and injecting him with a gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
I call that.
That happened. That happened.
And I gotta find. I need to find that video because when I put this together, somehow it didn't.
Remember that older woman, like in India or something.
In India, yeah.
Where they also got her. They
that's what I need to find. I need to add those to this archive because somehow they didn't get added on here.
Oh, those were like the juiciest ones,
I like still got them. Yeah, they got to be in
forcing them. Can you imagine that? Like you don't want to do it, and then like 5 people jump on you, hold you, and inject you.
And they were laughing. Yeah, the Indian woman.
Yeah, they were laughing at her.
They were laughing about it. They were like, "Oh, like she's,
like,
and she's just screaming this guttural scream of agony and trauma and pain, and they're just laughing as they just."
I remember that young girl that got injected. Like her mother was like holding her, and she was like crying. She didn't.
Yeah.
That was heartbreaking, man. Like she felt that she was getting killed. That she was getting sterilized, and they did it anyway to her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, what a shame. Like if I was there, I don't know if I would be able to restrain myself. I would do some crazy. I would do something out of hand, out of character for me. Put it this way against those people.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good thing I wasn't there because I'll go buck wild on them.
Well,
I'll save that girl.
And that's why it becomes important to contemplate your physiological karma. To see like what have you done in your bloodline that have put you in a position where you're even in that position to get the
That's a horrible
procedures, to
position,
get
man.
the, and so, but once you start to break that down, you can organize your liberation from that, where you're like, okay, it's like
Yeah.
now we're gonna get free from the
I'm
nonsense.
not gonna be in that situation, that's for sure, like over my dead body. Like, because that's pretty much what it is once they get
Yeah,
you in there. Like, terrible, man. It's just humankind. The things it does to itself in ignorance, and deceit. It's just like horrible to watch, you know.
yeah.
That's why we gotta separate from all that, and
You
that's what we're
separate,
working on.
and yeah, and I've said it for years. It's like which I've already done. I've created my own reality.
Same.
Like I don't have to deal with a lot of just a lot of the stuff we talk about. Like I'm in a different reality. I don't deal with it. I've been called and chosen to speak about it, to speak truth to it, but it ain't affecting me over here other than preventing me from sharing things with people. Like that's
Yeah.
basically their leverage they have over me, is they can shut down how many people see my message. That's it. That's as far, and and that itself is quite frustrating, but that's just the cost of doing business when you're trying to help people in a society where that's not allowed. You're not
Oh,
allowed. You're not allowed to help
only
people. You're not
doctors can
allowed
help
to
people.
educate people. You
You're
know?
not a doctor. What are you doing there? Do you have a license? Come on.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't be doing that. Like self-medicating,
It's spellbound. Like
healing.
people are
What can you do?
controlled by these. It's like spells, and people can't cast spells. All these words, all this stuff, where people are just, oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's like they say something, and everybody's hypnotized. It's like, oh yes, where's your, it's like, and that's what we're saying is wake up. Once you wake, and that's what we help people do, is kind of take people through the 5 to 7 stages of grief once you wake up,
Yeah.
because you go through the denial phase, then you go through the anger phase of just anger, another phase of sadness and apathy and depression, and like you're gonna go through all of that as you waking up, as you're
Yeah.
healing
It's
yourself, because
tough.
you're gonna realize, like, dang man, it was what was I thinking? Like, what was I doing that for? What did we talk? Like, I was eating dead animals,
Yeah.
that had all,
Yeah.
feces and worms
Yeah.
all up in
Drinking
them,
poison, concentrated poison,
drinking
aka
concentrated
alcohol.
poison, cow
Like
pus, and then
smoking nicotine
they
and
convinced me that was normal. Yeah, putting smoke in my lungs,
yeah,
like,
like come on. It's like, what the hell was I doing? And I got all these issues, and and these doctors are telling me just take a pill, take a chill pill.
yeah,
Like
right,
it's
yeah,
like
literally, yeah,
really,
take a chill
that's your
pill.
solution to that? Just take a pill, and then when that doesn't work, to cut things off me or cut things out of me. That's your last solution. And then obviously the last solution is they just put you under, bury you 6 feet deep. That's the funnel they have for you.
Yeah, well, that's the
You know.
final solution. Yeah.
Yeah, the final solution is like, oh, in Canada they're already doing that. They're like, oh, sorry, you want to just get,
Well, yeah,
suicide?
because they'll literally. I mean, you don't think that they look at somebody's financial records to see, is this
Yeah,
somebody that to actually literally time it, to time your
yeah.
demise based on what your bank account looks like. So they're looking, they're like,
It's
oh,
like conveyor belt.
this a year. Let's just, we can let this person kind of live for a year, and then
Yeah,
it's like, this person don't really got,
yeah. They got it down to a science, man. Like,
yeah, we need beds. We need
yeah.
some
Like I
beds.
heard in Canada, they're offering veterans. What was that word?
First, I got allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly,
Oh, actually, I
you
think
know,
I read in the news. That's like official news. They're
it
offering it.
is official news,
Yeah,
but
yeah. That's government like program.
I need a shirt that just says allegedly. So
Yeah, yeah.
whatever I
Just
say,
have it.
allegedly.
Yeah. If you like have
But
you know, the formula and then like allegedly.
yeah, B equals P minus O,
Oh,
allegedly.
allegedly. That's it. You
It's
got it covered. Everything is covered. Yeah, man, it's dangerous out there. You put your trust in the wrong people, in the wrong organizations, in the wrong businesses, like you could suffer some serious consequences. Like that's what happened to me. I put trust in the doctors. I didn't put trust in the government. I never trusted the government. But the doctors I did trust, and they let me down big time, man. Like, big time. They took all my money, not all of it. They took my money, but they didn't provide anything in return. That's when I realized I'm on my own. Like, I'm all by myself. Like in that song, all by myself.
Yeah.
Like that was me. I'm like, okay, now I gotta like figure this out. Holy crap. No, barely any money left, sick as a dog, and now I gotta figure this out, real quick, ASAP, like chop chop. Yeah, those were the bad days. Right now, these are the good days. I got the health figured out. I got the finance figured out. Now I'm just optimizing and scaling and working. Now this is easy. What I do now. Back then that was hard. You know, like I was on ultra hard mode. Now I'm
Mm,
like on just hard mode. Back
yeah.
then, Professor remembers that was ultra hard mode, where I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
I was scrambling. I was scrambling hard, scrambling about my health, scrambling about money. You know, but that scrambling paid off. So now I'm just trying
Mm,
to make sure that you don't scramble, that you use my experience, my knowledge, my skills to not scramble, to have the easy way. The
right.
easy on ramp to physiological freedom. So you got Spira right there, guiding you down that path, and financial freedom. I can guide you down that path, you know, and then you're all set. Then you just gotta wait for us to build the island, and you're good to go. See, like easy peasy. Like don't worry about it. we got it
Yeah.
covered. Yeah, we're working on things. Yeah, and that is gonna happen. I have no doubt about it. I already envisioned it. It's in my mind. In my mind, that island is already there. Like it's floating in the middle of the
Yeah. Yeah.
Caribbean. With skyscrapers like built with bunch
Hmm.
of fruit orchards with bunch of like clinics that are doing actual healing. People bringing us Bitcoin to take care of all their ailments, and we're taking all their Bitcoin and then putting that Bitcoin to use building more islands, etc., etc. Rinse, repeat,
Yeah.
rinse, repeat.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. That's the vision. Like a free financial system, which is Bitcoin. Buy some Bitcoin if you still didn't. That is my financial recommendation. Like, you know, and practice MDHS. And get your passive income up because Bitcoin is not going to solve that for you. That's a good way to preserve your money. But if you want to be in the matrix, you need cash flow to exist in the matrix. And that's what decentralized finance does for you. And does it very well and in a very decentralized, government resistant, bank resistant, and economy resistant way, which I'll talk about in the workshop in more detail. I'm going to go all into that. So don't worry. I'll cover all of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't understand why people still use like banks. I mean, I don't advocate losing banks. I have bank accounts myself, my businesses and whatnot, but I don't rely on them. Most of my money is not in banks, actually. It's outside of the banks. And I just use banks like a public toilet. The money comes in, money comes out. That's all I use them for. I don't actually use it to store my money. Like, screw those guys. I already tried that. They just robbed me blind. After that, I learned my lesson. I was like, yeah, no thanks. Even though I know in US they don't do things like that. Well, not all the time anyway, right? But
Yeah.
yeah,
Not as, and and I've recently learned some ways to actually even protect your money in the
yeah,
bank
yeah. First, I got the
in a
next
way,
level thing.
and so that's things like we
Yeah,
said.
he figured that out too.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
still got to
yeah,
learn that actually.
yeah,
Professor is on a whole other level on that, because I just didn't have time. But that's why we have teamwork.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
learning my things. Professor's learning his things. Other team members are researching other things. That's what we're research and development team. That's what
right,
we do. We work for you guys. I bring you this information after we've vetted. Because people ain't got the time. You got to work. You got to practice, MDHS. You got to take care of your kids. You ain't got the time for all that to figure it out, right? But I do. My professor does. And the rest of the team does too. And that's how this works. But like we can't support you without you doing the work and using this information that we're bringing to you.
right,
Otherwise, it's just BS information that nobody uses it. Like
right.
it's just mental masturbation. That's all that is. That's what I call it. Yeah, that's my vision. See, we even got already GPT coming up with all kinds of crazy pictures. That's what we're talking about. Like our own mucus-free nation,
Yeah,
like that, with running on resource-based economy, on Bitcoin as the buffer between the money states and the resource-free states. Us, yeah, everybody's mucus-free, growing our own fruits, vegetables, generating our own electricity through nuclear, through solar, through wind, through hydro sources. Yeah, protected by drone systems, by Anduril. Actually, Professor, I remember I sent you a link. Lucky Palmer, he's building Anduril. We're definitely going to reach out to that guy. He's building AI controlled swarms and things like that for defense. Yeah, like once we get that system up, ain't nobody getting an island except us. You know what I mean? There's gonna be no pirates disembarking on our shores and taking, our men and women. Nah, that ain't happening on my watch.
Because people, there's a naivete that some types of like, we don't want that. It's like you have to protect yourself. you have to protect yourself in this kind of in the world we're in. It's like that's the thing, and that's something that some of the previous generations and the hippie movements and things and people that tried to go out in the woods, they didn't have that together. No, they didn't understand that. No,
I believe in peace, love, and defense. That's peace, what I believe in.
Yeah. I mean, that just to me,
you gotta defend yourself.
It's defense. It's organization. It's just being organized and smart and being realistic about the world that you're in and setting it up the right way. And and that's
that will be the blueprint for the world. Once the world sees what we created over there and how our society is functioning and how we're living, like a mucus-free society, developing all these technologies, they're gonna want to copy that. They're gonna want a piece of that because a lot of people don't even understand that this is possible. That the tech is there. That things like this are available, and within reach. They think like whatever is here right now, this tragedy of nutrition, that's all there is. That's the only reality possible. But we know, first of myself, that that's not true. That we can't build things like this, And all we need for that is, guess what? Money and the community. See? Because money makes the world go round. In order to get away from money, you need money. That's the irony of the situation. To get away from the matrix, you need to learn the matrix and use the resources of the matrix, to get yourself out. Kind of like Neo did in the movie, like once he learned that, he was like, all right, peace out. Flew away.
Right. Yeah. No,
that movie had a lot of metaphors, Matrix.
Like, and it's all ancient wisdom. You got the Plato's cave. You got, it's like reiterations for modern audiences of the same wisdom of the Matrix, the cave, the just being in a subservient slave unconsciousness. I mean, it's literally being unconscious. Because if you start looking at principles and you say, okay, do unto others as you would have them do to you. Well, part of that is like, well, I would want somebody else to wake me up. So some people, they look at that phrase like that and assume it to mean that you're just like pious and kind to everybody and this whole putting on this little fake little thing, when you have to really look at that. It's like, well, do unto others as you would have them do to you. If I was unconscious, I want somebody, like if it's some tough love that I need to wake up, then I would want that. Then give the tough love if it's gentle, and then if it's a gentle message that I would need, it's like, well, what do you need? And so that's wisdom. But you have to do unto others as you would have them do to you. Receive for the sake of sharing. You receive the knowledge and the wisdom, and you as you learn who you are, thyself. You start to receive all of the information of the universe, and now you are called to share, to teach, to pay it along, teach others. And so that's the helping other people part. And so all this wisdom has been around for a long time. The one piece that has been largely neglected until us, Erit and us, is the physiological piece.
Yeah.
So a lot of the philosophy of this stuff, and you can go down those rabbit holes, all that stuff. But any of those things that you think are heavy, what you question it or look at it through the physiological lens, and they're all limited. They all lose that part. Even if they say something that might be good, where it's like, oh, well, yeah, don't eat meat. It's like, but they don't got the whole thing. They don't got Mucusless Diet healing system, vitality equals power minus obstruction. The formula to life. They don't have it. So we have that part. So we're contributing that, bringing that up to the surface, because that's going to be important. I know there's a lot of people that's out there with the different, the raw food things going on and the vegan stuff and fruitarian people, all this stuff. But sooner or later, everybody has to deal with the reality of vitality equals power minus obstruction. And so that is the missing link in all of it, in everything, everywhere. That's the missing link. That's what we're bringing to the table. And that's whatever we build, the arid island, and, we start building out the communities is based on physiological liberation and vitality equals power minus obstruction.
Yeah, that's the bedrock of that whole thing.
That's the bedrock.
Otherwise, it's not going to work. And then on that bedrock, you can build all of that on top,
Right.
the financial piece, defense, and, arts, and all these like other things. But if it doesn't have that, it comes crashing down. That's why previous experiments that tried to do things like that, they all fail.
Right.
Because, the busted mucus reared its ugly head, and the people just went at each other's throats. And that's it.
Right.
And all their like high and lofty ideals. Remember that documentary you sent me about that whatever group, like the sect or something?
That was on Netflix.
On Netflix, they bought like 110,000 acres, and they had all this money, and they had like 80,000 people, and all this. It all went down because they all just were doing like silly shit. They were like spying on each other and doing weird sex orgies and this like that. And I'm like, yeah, that was. And then basically like FBI got in there, and that just whole thing just went down. They were shooting guns at people. It was just bad. Like the whole thing is just corrupt. And again, why? Because they're missing that piece. It just fell apart. I mean, their ideals were good. Their intentions were good. OSHA's intentions, I'm sure, were good too. He was trying to, do like a meditation center or something like that. But in the end, it all came down to like just some bullshit, and that's it. And the FBI just took him down. Like from the inside, they just infiltrated and done. And people got jailed. The whole thing fell apart. The locals were like against them. He was like, oh, they were.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that whole thing just went sideways. I mean,
they just did. Well, they poisoned people.
Yeah. They poisoned. Like what?
You
poison
can't
your own. Like,
do
what?
unto others as you would do unto you. I mean, that's because it's like that's literally what happens every time these things fall apart. They're breaking the law. Yeah. There's only a few laws, and like they're breaking them. And but their fundamental one that nobody else talks about but us is the physiological laws.
Yeah.
Because if you break in the physiological laws, you're not going to be expected to follow any of the other ones properly.
Yeah, you're in a whole different mental space. That's the problem.
Right.
And if you're in that whole pus and mucus mental space, you're gonna be doing pus and mucus things, which are gonna bring them to very obvious and expected results. Like of this whole thing falling apart. So I'm looking forward to finally making a successful experiment. Wild Wild Country. Yeah, check that out. Very educational documentary. That's like that's like a case study on what not to do.
What not to do.
What not to do. Don't do that.
Yeah. It's like that's not it. Like don't.
Yeah, this is definitely not it. Like I was watching that just to learn what not to do. I'm like, okay, point taken. Definitely not doing that. Definitely not doing that. I mean, I wouldn't do that anyway. Like they're doing some wild shit. They had a whole like surveillance system installed. They were just recording everybody. Like what? Why? Why would you do that? Just to keep control. Yeah, like, oh, look at these people. There were like a bunch of guns with them. You don't need guns. You need an island and a bunch of automated drones around. That's all you need. Like, if you only have some guns on in the locker for like emergencies, then why not? That documentary was wild, man. But anyway, but that's the work that we're doing. Kind of bringing all this information to the masses, and that's very valuable information. How to achieve financial freedom with your money, how to achieve physiological freedom with Eric's system, like all these things, super valuable. And most people don't realize it. They're like, oh, it's just old bullshit information. No, this is information that will literally save your life. at some point. Either from cancer or from, when they come with the gun in one hand, syringe in another, right? Like that might happen again. I mean, not here, not in the next 4 years at least. So we got some time. Donald Trump bought us some time, but I'm not counting on it too much. I'm still like my plans are
Hey,
still
it's
on
all
track.
pedal to the
Yeah,
metal.
pedal to the
Yeah.
metal. Yeah, I don't care. I'm not slowing down. I'm actually speeding up as much as possible
Mm-hmm.
because until I'm on that island, with drones around me that we control,
Right.
like I'm not relaxing. That's all I'm saying. Then we can relax a little bit, not too much, because those people are gonna want to take what we got. So we got to stay vigilant. Even
Right.
on the island. I'm saying we'll stay peaceful but vigilant. That's my position.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta be
No.
peaceful. You can't be like OSHA and all those people, bunch of guns, shooting it up, threatening locals. Like, that's just asking for trouble. Like, you're just asking for it, and they got it, right? They asked for it, and the FBI obliged. They're like, oh, really? You want to make your own country? In our country, you want to make your own town in our town, and you got guns, and you're talking smack, and you're running for positions in power? Yeah, we're going to have to, do things to you now. Like, and that's what happened, right? I mean, they infiltrated them and just destroyed them from the inside. Yeah, sounds familiar, right? That's a
Mm-hmm.
that's a system they use quite frequently and to great
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you know,
Yeah.
many times in history they've used
Yeah.
that. Oh, many times.
Yeah. Yeah. They rinse and repeat that one.
Rinse and repeat that one. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So I'm like, yeah, you're not using that on us, buddy. Yeah, that island is gonna be very locked down. We're gonna know exactly who everybody is, and you know what, the boot camp is gonna be legit. Like, there's gonna be a little island right next to that big island with like a 3-month boot camp that you're gonna have to go through. Through with Brother Air as the drill instructor. Putting you through the paces. Like,
Right.
even if you're on their team, you're gonna be on our team by the end of that one. But anyway, let's not give away all our secrets.
Right.
Playing.
So
But
all right, man. So this was a good episode. Think we got into some important stuff. And again, one last time, join us on Tuesday. Sign up for the free workshop, for the free training, Tuesday at 6:00 Eastern time. Got the little once you sign up, you'll get the Zoom link and all that kind of stuff. Show up, bring something to take notes with so you can take the notes that you need and just be ready to have your mind blown with all this some stuff that you haven't been exposed to yet. And like I said, join the Mucus-free Life membership. That's we got the founders pricing for a limited time open. So you want to jump on that before the price goes up. And yeah, physiological liberation. That's what it's all about. Let's go. Let's get it together.
just freedom, physiological freedom, financial freedom, spiritual freedom, all kinds of freedom. That's
Yeah.
the name of this game.
Yeah.
Passive income instead of wage slave income. Which I'm not knocking that. People are where they are. I used to do that too, but you got to get away from that. Otherwise, they got leverage on you, which they will use in the future. I guarantee you, at some point. Because look, they have. Like, it's not just me speculating. They have used it multiple times, and then they try to gaslight you that they did it, which is the saddest part. What do you mean? It was all voluntary. You could have said no. You could have just said,
Yeah.
I don't want to do it. Right? It's like, what? So
Yeah.
that's like putting gun to your head and be like, all right, if you don't take this, I'll shoot you in the head. No.
Well, yeah,
boom.
and that's the magic thing because it really is. Because another one of my favorite movies growing up was Wizard of Oz, and it really is that guy behind the curtain, and you're in fear, and you really think like so much of our little hells that we experience are self-made, but we don't know it. We don't have the consciousness to realize like we think we're being coerced when there's actually we don't have to do.
Yeah, they even told us themselves.
Anything.
I wasn't coercing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have just been unemployed and on the street and broken in poverty, but when you had that choice.
Well, I'm even talking about there's a video of a guy. I won't go too deep into that, but there's a video of it's like a congressional hearing, and one of the congressman slipped up and accidentally said that paying taxes is voluntary.
Yeah, I saw that one.
You know, and so
Oops,
it's like,
oops, I said
like,
the
whew.
quiet part out loud. Oh no.
I'm
So,
not now. Like I'm not telling anybody nothing.
not financial
in this.
advice.
Not here. Like don't. That again, we'll talk about that later. That's a whole other thing. Is I'm not telling people
that's a
to.
membership conversation.
Yeah, that's a
For
membership
sure.
conversation. I'm not saying to not pay
Sorry.
taxes. I'm just saying that there's a way to restructure your life to operate a little differently. Let's put it that way.
Optimize things.
To optimize things.
Yeah.
And
optimize it away. You know.
Yeah.
You don't want to evade. You want to optimize. That's how.
Yeah.
You want to optimize things.
Yeah. Optimize and.
Yeah, optimize to a point where it's like ultra optimal. Put it this way.
Right.
Once again, membership conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. There we can be quite candid about.
Yeah. We can,
extremely candid.
Yeah. We can really unleash. I mean, people think we unleash on here, and it's like, no, we don't even get into third gear here. You know,
this is the light version right here. This is the censored version. Just so you understand. Yeah. Membership is where we get uncensored and unleashed.
Yep.
That's that too hot for TV version, the membership. Like
right.
Because that's our platform, basically. We can say whatever the hell we want there. Anything. Nobody is like watching, nobody's censoring, nobody's gonna do anything, and there's no consequences. We can say whatever we want, you can say whatever you want there. That was the whole point behind building the platform. That's what Professor Spira brought this to the community. Because, after he suffered all that censorship, on YouTube, on Facebook, on all these pages, he's like, screw this. I got to build my own thing, you know? And he has. So that's the only way to take advantage of that is to get on there and check it out.
Plug in.
You definitely will not be disappointed. I'll tell you that. The team is working very hard to bring some juicy content every day. I know. 'Cause I'm in there. Yeah, man. Just gotta get the work in. That's it.
Yep.
And take
it's
action.
All about onward and upward.
Yeah. It's action time.
Next level. Yeah, exactly.
Enough of the looky and diddly dallying around. No, it's time to get off the fence and take action on the whole front. Otherwise, you're gonna be left behind, broke, alone, and watching YouTube videos of us hanging out on the island.
Yeah.
All right. And they'd be like, "Damn, they told me to do it. I just didn't. I thought they were joking around." And look at them, like, God damn it, why am I not there? I'm like, why?
Don't put yourself in that position of the like, I could have did that or I should have did, and then or where you have this excuse like, well, I'm not ready yet. Like, I'll be ready soon. Like, no, it's not about being ready. You just gotta take action and not even think about that, and just it's time.
You just gotta take the lead.
This is it, because there's never going to be a perfect time when everything is aligned in your life and this, and I saved up some money. It's like, no, you got to just act now. You got to take action now.
Look at Teresa Mitchell's story, right? I mean, she took the leap. Everybody around her was telling her, what are you doing? You already got the perfect health. You're young. You don't have to do any of that. Why are you going like all the way? And she was like, screw you. I'm going to go all the way. And she was working as a waitress in a diner.
Right.
When she was going, like, can you imagine that? You're eating all fruits. You're going towards the ultimate, peak, and you're carrying around freaking eggs and bacon like 7 hours a day in both arms, smelling it, going in the kitchen. Like, can you imagine like doing that and eating like a little
no, because I couldn't do that.
That's some next level shit. Like, I'll be going nuts. You get a craving, all of a sudden you gotta like bring out waffles and syrup and things like that, and you're like, holy crap. You just want to go, and she did that. So if she managed to do that with no community, no support, because remember, she wrote all she had to support was her mother, and she couldn't even tell her.
Right.
So she had no community, no support, working in the diner, and she still managed to make it all the way. When I read that, man, if she managed to do that in that kind of environment, I'll be ashamed if I can't do that with all the resources I got and the community I got and all these things. Like, that's just embarrassing. Like, if she could manage to do that, a girl of 20 years old, all on her own, working in a diner with no friends, everybody around her telling her, you're just a dumbass. Like, what are you doing? See, that's why I draw a lot of inspiration from that story. I'm like, all right, if she can manage to get it done, I'll definitely manage to get it done somehow. with all this support and community and all that. Yeah, that's what you got to do, And then that, when she achieved all those things, that brought her mental clarity. That brought her like, ultimate health, more energy. And guess what you can do with that? Make more money. And then you have the financial freedom on top of that. See? So you see, you can have both. They both go
Right.
together. That's what I learned. It's not two separate things. Health brings wealth. That's it. That's how this works. And vice versa. If you have no health, you're not getting no wealth. I'm sorry. You're going to be way too busy, like, visiting your local friendly doctor and heeding his advice and eating a bunch of toxic pills and getting a bunch of crap cut out of you, until they cut enough that you die. Enjoy, that's what happens. Or until they stick you in the little nursing home, the modern day poorhouse, where you're going to be
Right.
charged 20K a day until that runs out. Then he's going to boot you into like whatever, worse government poorhouse, where you don't
Yeah,
even want to know what happens there. That's
yeah,
like
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
whole other
No.
level of like degeneracy and shit. Yeah, like I'm definitely not going down that route. I'm gonna fight tooth and nail, to get my health and then get my wealth and then build the island for the community, and that's it. And just live the life of my dreams. Like whatever, I'm not giving up. I'd rather die than give up on my dreams and on my mission. That's what keeps me going every day. You know, no surrender, no mercy, no pasaran.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
say.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's got to be your motto. And for all you who need inspiration, read the rest of Mitchell's story in Rational Fasting. It's at the very end.
yeah,
Read that
yeah.
story, read it again, print it out, put it under your bed, read it when you feel
Well,
down.
and I
That's my
need
life
to.
hack.
I maybe April. I gotta. So I have the audio book that I voiced for rational fasting is done. I just we haven't released it widely yet,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna make that a priority for April. I think we're gonna try to
Yeah.
release
So
that. So
you can even listen to it in
yeah,
Professor Spira's voice.
yeah,
And then you feel down, just put your headphones in, put that story on, boom, the rest of Mitchell's story. You're like,
yeah,
damn, I gotta get it done. Yeah, because imagine once you break through to that plateau and the clear liquid comes out of your mouth, and all of a sudden you feel like $1,000,000 and you can run up a steep San Francisco hill
hmm,
nonstop and not even get winded. Can you imagine
yeah,
doing that? That's
yeah, yeah,
crazy. Like, if I could do that, then I'll feel like a god. I feel like, holy crap. All these people like barely walking, huffing and puffing, and you're like, you're just sprinting up that thing, you know?
yeah,
And you get to the top, you're not even like breathing hard. Everybody's looking at you like, what the hell? Like, this guy just ran like this whole thing. And he's not even sweaty. He's not even breathing hard. Meanwhile, they're standing like, like barely
right,
breathing.
right.
Yeah, now that's a goal. That's a definite goal. When I get to that goal, and I get to the full financial freedom goal, that's where you want to be. That's what I want for each and every one of you. So yeah, it's been a great
Yeah,
podcast. We hit it
yeah,
hard this time,
yep. Just
like we try to every time.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're gonna hit that
yeah.
workshop even harder on Tuesday, so
Yeah,
don't miss out.
Tuesday. Yeah, jump on board. Click if you haven't clicked yet. You're still listening. Click the link. Sign up for Tuesday. Come check us out. Check out the membership. Click the membership link,
Yeah,
and yeah, just this is the time. This is the time to plug in.
I need every member of MDHS community to be rich, so that way you have the resources to help us build the mission and the dream in Arid Island. That's the main goal here.
Yeah, yeah.
If we're not all rich,
Everybody.
how are we
Yeah,
gonna get it done? Like pie in the sky. Oh, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna visualize it. I'm gonna manifest it. Nah, you ain't gonna manifest jack shit without money. I'm sorry. That's just the truth of the world. That's the truth of Matrix. That's how this works. To get away from money, you need money, and that's what I'm gonna teach you how to do on that
yeah,
workshop. Simple as that. Sorry to
yep.
drop truth bombs now, but I do have the Matrix. Like
Yeah,
I'm in the
yeah.
Matrix. I
Come
gotta
see
drop
it.
some truth.
He said,
I know
sorry, not sorry.
sorry, not sorry. Some people don't want to hear it. They're like, oh man, this guy's talking about money, all this money, money. Yeah, money is what is the fuel that prints your dreams into the world, that materializes your dreams. Not manifesting, not visualizing. Money makes things happen. Money moves the world until it doesn't. You know, until you like get to a certain point where money doesn't matter. Yeah, that's a whole separate discussion. But to get to that point, you need money. That's how they
Yeah,
do it.
well, and it's and for us, and I look at it like when you have this information, the Mucusless Diet healing system, and you're cleaning yourself up, and that's a priority and a value, then you've taken yourself out of the mucus matrix mentality and dynamic where again it's the material mythology, as Brother Eric calls it, where you really value all these, oh, like you said, the Bugatti, and I got
Yeah.
this, and it's kind of stuff. It's like now and it's not that you don't have nice things or expensive things. It's like your mindset is in a whole different space, because this is in a freedom space where it's like, well, I'm not getting something for people to look at it like, oh, like some high status. It's like, no, I'm getting something because it's going to help me do my ministry better. It's going to help me help other people more. So, okay, it might be expensive, but that's what I'm going to invest in, is stuff that's going to help me. Talking about my van, but it's incoming, because that's
part of the service, though. You
part
need
of the
that to
service,
serve people.
and that's the thing. Yeah, where I won't get at it, because then we start talking about ownership and not owning anything, and the trustee lifestyle.
That's a separate podcast right there.
Separate podcast, but that's the thing. But all of it is education, physiology, and doing the work to discover these things physiologically. Like Vadim was saying, you got to do it to learn for yourself. Know these things yourself. You can hear me like, oh, that sounds interesting. You got to do it so you know yourself. And that's where it's at.
That's how Teresa Mitchell got her like conviction. She was doing it herself. It was working. She was feeling it, and the truth was self-evident. She's like, oh my God, Eric was right. Everything he wrote was true, and that motivated her to keep going when she was like being demotivated by people. They're like, what are you doing? Because everybody like got to a certain point where they're like completely healthy, but nobody wanted to go the last like step, the final mile, to reach the supreme health status. They were like, why do you want that? You're already super healthy. You already reached that. She's like, nah, I want to get all the way to the end. I want to experience what Eric experienced. That feeling of ultimate health, the ultimate clarity, whereas there's no like pus and mucus in your body at all.
Right.
Like I want to see what that is like. That's what motivates me. I want to see also what that is like. I haven't reached it yet. I'm still working. I'm still in my transition. I'm still doing my things. But that's okay. I got time. I'm healthy. I got time. I got the community. I'm practicing. I'm making money. I got a business. We're going towards the island. There's no rush. It's okay. Nobody knows how long we're gonna live, right? When you're healthy, I'm not no longer in danger of being, in a nursing home. Basically, that's for sure. They're not gonna get me in there over my dead body.
Well, and it's the slow, consistent progress, and I'm always talking about that. It's like permanent progress. And that's a thing where it's not this quick fix or this overnight thing. It's like, no, that's sustained long-term progress. That is where it's at. That's where you really make the real transformation, and then own it for the rest of your life. You own the progress, you own the gains, and that's where it's at.
I mean, I'm already way ahead of my peers. I mean, I'm almost 46 years old. Do I look 46? Like,
right.
I look better than I looked at 30, so that's already there. And like, as I progress, that's going to only get better, so like when I get 60 and I look like I'm 25, the truth is going to be self-evident. All those people are going to be like, holy crap, how old are you? I'm like 60. And they're like, but you look 25. I'm like, yeah, case in point. Here's the book. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the easiest marketing campaign in the world. It's like, you can't deny what your eyes tell you.
Right.
You there could be all kinds of propaganda, but if somebody looks at you and you look 20 at 60, and they're like, how'd you do that? Here's the book. Here's the e-course link. Here's the membership, the Mucus-free membership link.
Right.
Check it out. We got the blueprint for you. And he's like, holy crap. I mean, this guy, look at him. I can't deny this. It's undeniable, And that's what we have to do. We have to become undeniable.
Yeah.
Where it's so in your face that you're just like, you can't dispute it. It's like, it's like Goebbels said, the role of propaganda is to make you disbelieve your own eyes, Like when you posted that link of people literally dying, and the people like could watch that and just wouldn't
Hmm.
believe their own eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
That's crazy to me. I'm like, what the hell, man? Like you see it for yourself. This dude just killed over and died, and then you're still standing there. You don't trust your own eyes. You trust the doctor over your own eyes. That's crazy to me, man. That's just crazy talk. But yeah, that's kind of my goal. You know, to kind of that's why Teresa Mitchell said, don't teach it until you achieve full liberation.
Mm.
Until you proven to yourself beyond a shadow of doubt that it works. And I proven to myself beyond a shadow of doubt that it works, and it works on me and it works on everybody else. No matter what they say, like the popular media line, it's different for everybody. Everybody has unique needs, unique composition. I'm like, no, they don't. Everybody's the same. 99.9% of your DNA is exactly the same. Don't give me that bullshit. I know the science. Like, it's different. No, it's not. If you eat pasta mucus, you get smashed. That's just how it is. If you don't and you use arid system, you get healthy. Oh, shocker. What a
Mm.
revolutionary concept, like stop eating shit.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
drinking shit and smoking shit. And you,
Right.
you might actually be healthy and young looking, Ooh, it's like all these like people, getting plastic surgeries, getting Botox injections, fillers. I'm like, what are you doing? Just stop eating shit and save money and use that money to buy fruits, or to put it into decentralized finance and to get passive income, you know. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. Yeah, like look at this. This is like what they're peddling.
They've
As,
yeah,
as
they've figured out how to make this, like, to
yeah,
normalize this.
Yeah, this is what they're peddling to people. And then 10 years later, all this shit goes sideways. I mean, look into like plastic surgery horror stories or something. You know that show where like 10 years
Oh
later,
yeah.
her whole face just goes like sideways, this poor woman. And then she keeps getting plastic surgeries, then her nose falls in, and it's just sad. And I'm looking, I'm like, holy shit, man, this woman will pay us anything to get like rejuvenated at our, island facilities, right? That's business right there. Like that's just money on the table. That's like low hanging fruit, you know. and then the word of mouth is going to travel real quick. There'll be a line like 2 years long to get into our sanatorium. Yeah, like that. Look at this. This is what they say you have to do to preserve your beauty and your youth. Yeah, right.
Well, that's
Look
not
at
real.
them.
That's AI.
No, that's not real. No,
No,
but
it's
there are
not
some
real
real ones. There
stuff.
are some real ones. Yeah, for sure. Like that one, the blonde one is definitely real. Yeah, like this one. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is real for sure. Yeah, like that. That's what happens when they age. These plastic surgery people, and they think that plastic surgery is gonna stay the
Heck is
same
that?
as they age. Yeah, that's scary shit. Yeah, those are real. That's real.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
kind of
I've seen that. Yeah, like this is what they're peddling. Like, and they make crazy money. All these doctors in Beverly Hills.
yeah.
Jesus Christ, these people look like aliens, man. They don't even look like human anymore. Like, look at this shit, And all they had to do was just stop eating pasta mucus. That's it. It
Yeah.
wasn't that hard, and fast, and do enemas, clean your ass. Like, you don't have to, do surgeries and shit. I mean, yeah, Jesus Christ, this is terrible, man. It's like a freaking horror show. That Chainsaw
Uh,
Massacre movies. Like, that's
uh,
what that looks like. Like, Jesus Christ. And these were some like pretty women that got bamboozled by these scumbags. Like plastic surgeons are also scumbags. Like they're the second biggest scumbags after the MDs.
I
You know,
mean, my thing with the plastic surgery is, if we could reframe the mindset so that there's a time and a place for plastic surgery if you're in an accident.
yeah,
If I'm in a
okay,
car accident,
I could see that. Yeah,
take me to the plastic surgeon and fix me up
yeah.
as good as you can, but not this stuff, like what
Look at Madonna, man. Like she looks terrible now.
this cosmetic
She used
thing.
to be
It's
good
like,
looking. Like,
just people just age. It's just age. If you're
yeah,
gonna age, just age.
just age. Yeah, like it's
Just
okay. Like, what are you doing? You're not gonna stop the aging process. You're just gonna make it worse, like a lot worse. Yeah, they're putting all these butt implants now. Like, that's
and
terrible.
they all, like, they get, like, fall through. They get old and they gotta, like, take them
Like,
out and stuff. And I
yeah,
mean,
like even in the whole lip thing, I don't get it. Like, the lip fillers and the duck lips like craze. Like,
right.
what man likes that? I don't get it.
I don't know
To me
where
that's
that
just
came from.
ugly. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, like that. Like, oh, that's that's so disgusting. I don't know. Maybe I just don't get something. Maybe I'm
I
old
don't.
fashioned. Maybe I'm
I
too
don't.
traditional. I don't know. I guess. I don't know. I like women who look natural, like natural looking women, natural lips, natural breasts, natural everything, like
Mhm.
mucus free, hopefully, like that's kind of, I know that's a high bar, but whatever, that's okay. That's why I like, I'm celibate for 7 years. That's it's okay though. I'm on a mission. I don't care about that stuff. Yeah, like good. He'll
Yeah.
he'll come he'll come when we build the island, so I'm not too concerned. But anyway, that's another topic.
Yeah. Yep. So, all right, y'all. I thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much. And yeah, one last time, click the link, sign up for Tuesday, 6:00 p.m. Be there on time, be there early, be ready to get plugged in and study. Jump into the Mucus-free Life membership if you haven't yet. Plug in. That's the message. Plug in and learn. Get this education. Get this support. And
Don't get left behind.
Yeah,
Like
don't get left behind.
you don't want to get left behind the ship, with the shark circling the water. Like you don't want to be that guy. Everybody's like watching, like, whoa, what happened to him? Oh, nothing. He's gone. All right.
Yeah, right.
Like, what guy?
Exactly.
Like that's it. He's gone. Yeah.
Exactly.
We don't want you to be that guy. We want you to be on the ship partying. Not being left overboard.
Right.
It's no bueno.
So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much. And until next time, peace, love, and breath.
Peace.
We are mucus free. 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 We are mucus